I remember the first time I heard those things, I thought my audio cut out for a second.
What, the seismic charge? Boom!
When I was very young, because it just goes dead silent.
Oh, that's right. Attack of the Clones came out and you were like 2, 3, 5.
No, the first time I played Lego Star Wars before I watched Attack of the Clones, so I fell in love with Jango before I watched that fight scene. Because I played his character to death in Lego Star Wars. It was probably about 2005?
Wait. Yeah. You were a baby. Just a baby. Alright, well here we are. It's Mando Monday, everyone. Second to last of the season. Man. I went really fast.
What are we going to do after this?
Yeah, it did. I was watching that episode with my buddies today.
That's true. We're going to have a ton of different shows, but we'll talk about that after we do like the recap and everything. Hold on. Let me get all bright for a second. Whoosh.
Read the memo.
Well, tonight we got John with us. Yay, John! And we got Nick, and we have Greg, and we have Ted, who's invisible again. So
never has his camera on, even though it works. Well, I did that back.
This is deliberate. I'm making dinner.
Oh, okay. That is allowed. That is allowed. And, oh, man. And OBS captures my cursor, so I better not wave that around like I normally do on my screen.
Oh, yeah. That's weird.
So, yeah, that's new. I'm using OBS, people. It's new. It's different. It gives me cool side effects. All right. So, recap on our last week's predictions and stuff. What we were right about, what we were wrong about. We all said that Mayfield was going to die.
One of the things that I meant... one of the things that I mentioned was I thought that there was going to be like conflict between like Cara Dune, like as far as is she going to break him out or whatever. Is there going to be
Man,
conflict
I knew
with
she
her
was
new
going to be able
job?
to just walk him out of there.
I never thought about that. So.
But I thought he was going to be a dick about it, and I thought he was going to like cause a riot in the prison on his way out. I couldn't imagine that he was just going to be like, all right, whatever.
Well, like, based
He's a
on
marshal.
the last episode we had with him, like, that was a reasonable guess.
Right?
Yeah.
Who would have
I
thought,
was not
man?
I wasn't expecting it out of Bill Burr. You know?
No, man.
So what else do we predict?
Still
We
We'll
thought he
get
was
to that.
going to gather more of a posse, but basically this whole episode instead centered on getting the coordinates.
And more of a redemption arc as well.
Oh,
you know, it
for
kind
sure.
of sort of giving him more of a not only that and also like kind of definitely humanizing him more, building more of that character. I was going to say something else I can't remember.
He's like the first Imperial I feel like I've really had sympathy for.
And that was kind of the point.
Callus, yeah, but he turned coat like early.
Mm-hmm.
By the end of the second season, right? Of Rebels.
Yeah. I mean, Mayfeld was just. It was more of a thing because, like, with that, with the Prison Break episode, we just knew that he was a good shot, but like he was just a rough, like, just piece of shit bounty hunter, and we were like,
well, yeah, I mean,
You could say he was a dick. You could just say it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
we were
he
thinking
was a
about,
giant dick.
oh, it's because he's Imperial. We're like, no, he's just an asshole. Like he's Space Boston.
yeah. Hey, as someone who lived in Boston for a long time. But the big joke all my Bostonian friends were like that only a Bostonian could have driven the hell out of that episode like that. Like, you know, like that's some true Boston driving right there. If you ever driven in Boston in the winter, that's what you're doing. You're dodging wrecks. You're dealing with people trying to break into your cars from the road. No, that's a little, but yeah, it was true Bostonian driving at its finest with that whole thing. But yeah, we thought he was gonna die. We thought it was gonna be a very posse forming. We thought we'd see more characters come back. And
Yeah, they didn't even go there yet, so it's gonna be. It makes it definitely.
It's going to just be Bill. I seriously thought there would be a lot more of them.
Yeah. I mean, so whatever. We were wrong. It's happened. I mean, we can only guess, right? We can only guess. So then, boom.
It makes you. So the question is, how long is that last episode going to be?
And who's directing?
Because we had a relatively short. Yeah, they haven't. It's really interesting how quiet they've kept these last few episodes.
It's probably
since,
a repeat director, so.
Probably.
But we'll see.
Or it's Favreau or someone else.
Well, he already directed one episode, so like when they announced their slate of directors for the season, he was already on it, so they're not going to be like. Joe's convinced that they're going to pull out some secret director. Joe's not here to defend his point of view, so I'm just going to go.
Yeah, he thinks it's Lucas.
Who do you think it would be, though?
He
Like,
thinks
if it
it'd
was
be George Lucas, but we all disagree.
No.
I don't
Could
think
be Taika. Could be Dave
George,
again.
I feel like if they were to bring George back, it would be for like a movie or something like that.
It's going to be a big cinematic. It's going to be a lot of combat. It's going to be probably very cinematic as far as what goes on with it. It's going to be a huge. Obviously, it's a huge plot point episode, but like, so it's going to be someone big, or it's going to be someone we've never heard of.
I just hope it's a little bit longer. I'm not like
It has to be.
I'm not complaining about the episode lengths. You know, I think they're pretty good. You know, it keeps you wanting a little bit more, but with the finale, you got to go at least like an hour.
Oh yeah, it's going to be like an hour, especially because they haven't even like gone to the cruiser yet.
Well, they've all been.
They're going to leave us on a cliffhanger for sure.
So
I mean, they've
at least
said
45.
Yeah, they said that their episodes are as long as they need them to be, right? So they're not like pushing it. So
they're not rushing.
I feel like it's gonna need to be long. So over Twitter, they've started joking it's gonna be like 23 minutes long.
Dude, the episode comes out literally on my birthday. If they do that to me,
Oh no, they won't do that to you. They won't break our hearts like that. They won't break our hearts like that. All
Maybe
right.
they'll split it too, and secret episode.
So one of the first things we see after they get Mayfield back is Boba's repainted.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of love versus hate on that whole shtick right there.
I mean, repaint implies that there was like any paint left.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
I would
It was-
imagine he
it
has
was
paint
paint.
buckets
It
there
was
in the back of Slave One.
He had like flakes here and there. Like,
Yeah,
badass.
no,
Yeah, he had
he
a
mixed
couple.
2 brands of paint. You know, he got some flaking. You know, he makes
It
mistakes.
reminded me a lot of. It reminded me a lot of like a comic book style of it. It reminded me a lot of like some of the older comics where you really couldn't get a lot of that detail.
Yeah, no, but it's very saturated. But what I had told my husband
Yeah.
days and days ago, and I didn't say it on social media because I was trying to adhere to the embargo, is I'm pretty sure like he painted it because like all of his old battle damage was his, right? Like that was his damage that
Yeah.
was like his
That's
history.
his story.
Right, but then Cobb Vance's been wearing it for like 5 years, roundabouts. So now it's not just his damage anymore. So he felt like he needed to go back, start over, put
That
more
makes-
of his own
Well,
scrapes on it.
also, well, again, also like it had been like completely stripped down by that point, and B, he hadn't had it in so long, and obviously he's been trying to track it down for.
Uh-oh. Did we lose Nick?
Uh-oh.
The android has
Bueller.
malfunctioned.
Yeah, his face is
Bueller.
frozen looking down.
Bueller.
I could elaborate a little bit more. I
Yeah.
think it's more just like sandblasted from being in Tatooine. Like, and I think you know, for what we are getting right now with him repainting it, I think we're going to get it all scuffed up by the end of the series.
Oh yeah, like there's definitely gonna be
Oh,
some
yeah.
shit on there.
I just can't wait for, because they've been giving Boba some really good chances to just go hardcore on people. I can't wait for him to do it on the last season.
Yeah.
Last episode.
Oh man, that whole scene when the episode before last where he came back was just who knew a gaffy stick
Gaffy
was so
stick.
fucking
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I want him to pull the gaffy stick out again, just like Rex.
yeah.
One more time.
I think he would. I think he would like wreck some stuff with the gaffy stick in the Mando armor.
No, it'd be good. It'd be badass. Why not? Why the fuck not? That'd be cool as shit. Oh, there he goes. He'll be back.
Oh.
All
Just the
right.
four of
Well,
us right now.
the other cool thing that we got right at the start of this episode was we actually got to see more of the inside of Slave One, which was super fucking cool.
Like the
Before this
revolving
episode, I was
like
looking
cockpit.
Yeah, I was like looking at like cross sections from the old cross section books. I pulled them out of my closet, and I was just like, how are they gonna do this? Is it gonna match up? And I was watching the episode, and I went back and watched it, and I was like, oh wait, that kind of matches up this cross section. That's cool.
Oh, so it was pretty accurate to it, right? Like, and we were like, why does it do that? It rotates so that when Slave One like changes upright position, the cargo area all stays the same, right? So people aren't just flying all over the fucking place, which would also be funny, but yeah.
Yeah, and the thing
Y'all
that like
notice,
It's a
did y'all
weird
notice
development.
Mando getting tossed around in the back?
I was like really
Like,
geeking
hold
out
on, and then
the dumbest stuff with the ship too was like the like one of the things that they showed where like Boba like looked down at them and talked to them when they were below him.
Oh,
And they're,
yeah.
like, little,
I
Yeah.
thought that was cool.
That
I was
is
like
really
looking at
cool.
the cross section. I was like, and I looked at it, and it literally says in the cross section, lower seats for security guards to watch the prisoners. I was like, that's freaking awesome.
So are there like
we forget it.
is it our cells
It's a-
on it? It's a prison ship.
Yeah.
It's
a prison ship.
It's a police ship specifically to transport prisoners.
Oh, he's
There
back.
it is.
So I have 2 routers in the house. The one that I normally use just decided to completely die, or
But now
just
you
like
have 2.
completely disconnected. I want to back up. Yeah.
Well, hey, at least you have that. If my router dies,
Mhm.
that's the end of me. So we're talking about Slave One, how fucking cool as shit it is, and how
Yeah.
fitting it to the old cross sections it was. Like they went to it.
Well, it was cool that you were actually able to, as they were taking off, you saw the whole like outside of
The rotation.
that carrier area. Yeah, you saw the whole thing like reorient, which was
Oh,
super cool.
it's cool.
Stabilizing fins.
And I hope we see some more of that ship soon. 'Cause
I really need to like an interior shot where they're all inside talking.
yeah.
We got a little bit of it, and it's also surprising how big and roomy it is on the inside, where they're able to like have their briefing and discuss things on their with a
have
full
to
team.
wonder if Cara Dune or Mayfield knew who Boba Fett was.
Boba Fett.
Wow, Boba Fett. I was thinking of something else for a second. Boba Fett.
They would have to know because he was notorious.
Right. Like
She was in the rebellion, at least, and he was in the Empire, so
they definitely were. They were definitely around a lot longer,
and
more in the whole.
And
thick
with
of things.
Fennec on the ship too, I guess Kara really did turn a whole fucking blind eye, like just like, oh, I'm not gonna pay attention to y'all. You guys are water criminals, whatever. I mean, if it's for the kid, it's for the kid. So she's gonna bend some rules.
I mean, she's also used to like the whole thing with the guild, so it probably doesn't bother her as much.
No,
they got his son.
That's right. And it is very much his kid, his son. Everybody's just accepted it, and that's what it is. And no one's gonna. A little green guy.
I mean, the big thing is that Din's accepted. It's not even just that that everyone else accepted it. It's that Mando's finally like, yeah, this is my kid.
I just love how like when they were trying to convince Mayfield, it was just like, no, I'm not gonna do it. They got his kid. Oh, in that case.
Yeah. Everybody knows. So, but then that comes up to the next
it's
point.
Sort of like it's the same reaction of like, it's like the reaction that everyone has when it's like John Wick, where it's like he stole his car and killed his dog and just
Well, yeah, everybody would.
That's exactly what it is. They blew up his. Well, see, sir, they blew up his ship and took his kid. Oh.
Yeah, see, Uncle Monkey says he doesn't seem like he knew who Mayfield was because he thought it was Mando, but it depends on how many Mandos Mayfield ever probably came across, right? Like they all probably look the same. I mean, that's the joke he made too, right?
Boba was also wearing a completely different outfit.
Oh, but you know what though? And they pointed out today that even though he's wearing the jetpack with the ESB paint job, it still has the patch on it. But they also have his old jetpack. You can see it in the cockpit. So he's got two of them.
Mm-hmm.
The Return of the Jedi jetpack?
Yeah, that's still in the cockpit.
Yeah, because it's got the lights, the vibros staff mark on it.
Yeah. So it's like they
he
used
repainted the.
That's the thing that.
They have like one armor mold, and it had the patch on it, and they used it twice without thinking.
They never thought about like, oh yeah, we'll just. He just had two Return of the Jedi packs? Okay.
Well, they wouldn't both have the patch where it got fucked up in the same place, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a little continuity error that we'll all joke about.
Right.
But they're not going
to... Maybe Boba was like OCD and he just got in there and was like, I gotta mess this up.
It's gotta match. Everything has to match. I get
like,
that. I can do that.
Maybe he was just like, well, if I paint the Return of the Jedi's Empire Strikes Back, I need to have two separate ones, so I'll just paint the Empire Strikes Back one as Return of the Jedi, match the damage.
I'm just really surprised that Boba doesn't have like a spare flight suit in there to like go back.
Yeah.
To his old
Maybe he's just decided this is his black phase, and that's what he wants to wear now.
He's got it. I mean, it's on a vest.
90s, early 2000s, just emo.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, again, the armor's on a new vest. It's not just like...
because the bells, the shoulder bells are attached differently.
Mm-hmm. And he has the old vest.
Second sleeve.
Yeah, it's either attached to the second sleeve or like MMCC app team's gonna lose their shit with that one. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it's all different. But you know, people are like love hate the new look. I like it. I think it looks fucking sweet.
I personally plan on doing a cosplay of bootleg Vader, so
bootleg Vader?
His face is all messed up.
Oh yeah. Discount Vader.
I love it. It's good. It looks really good. All right, so then the next one though is it kind of segues to what we were talking about before, where everyone's surprised that he took off all the Mando armor, put on the fucking Mud Trooper.
Yeah.
The Mud Trooper shit looked cool, by the way, too.
It did. It looked like it was a good outfit. It was a nice little hodgepodge.
I already found all the files to 3D print these.
Nice. Because it's good. You can see like the Shore Trooper, the Mud Trooper getting use again. Like, you know, all those people who have those costumes are happy.
Oh yeah.
Fun
Yeah.
fact:
Well-
the fans have already like in the Mud Trooper forums and the Shore Trooper forums, they've already pinpointed and determined that they're the same kits used in Solo and Rogue One, because they were able to like identify parts from different kits in the movies. Like, yep, this is the same kit. This is the same one.
The
And you can also
surplus costume armor.
yeah. And then they're
People
also
who have
missing pieces,
way more free time than
detail
we do.
pieces and stuff like that. Some of them are like breaking and chipping from just being in storage containers for years.
Not meant to really be used again. You know, that's the whole thing with with film production is you're on a budget, and you know, like with a lot of cars you see in films, a lot of them are beaters. Like,
But it's Lucasfilm.
they look great, but
and
they're
they
crap.
probably could just have warehouses of mannequins to store all their shit forever in perpetuity and charge people money to go
That
look
costs
at that.
money. I was
Like,
gonna say, that costs money though to keep
they
it like in proper
print
storage.
money. It's Lucasfilm.
Yeah, but they're still going to be fiscally responsible though. So,
yeah.
if they're going to keep using it over and over again, which they will.
but I don't think they were planning on it.
I mean, not
Because
then, but now I think they
it's a
realize
long
they need to
time
keep
before.
everything forever because it'll come up and they can use
Nah.
it again.
Well, yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
Well,
so
yeah.
When he put on the new armor, it was freaking, or the Mud Trooper armor. It's like, Jesus, this show is just going above and beyond. I can't believe it's actually really early. I didn't think we were going to see him like take his helmet off or anything, at least until the last episode
Yeah.
or next season.
Last few minutes of the
yeah,
last
that was the
episode.
other thing we were wrong about. We didn't think that maybe we would see his helmet off again until maybe the end of next episode, but certainly not now. But the things he'll do for his kid, he
Which
was
I'm
willing
kind of
to do
happy
it.
for Pedro too, because I know he like had a couple interviews where he was a little bit disappointed that like everybody else was able to take off their helmets
Yeah.
and have their characters known. And he's like I've been playing this character for this long, and there's so many people who actually don't know it's me underneath it.
Well, also the first time that he wore it, like his hair was super long, like his mustache just looked like it was not a good look for him. Like he
What, in the
looked,
season finale? Last
Mhm.
Yeah, when he was
Yeah.
dying.
yeah, like I said, but like as far as that was his close up beauty shot.
I know. and it was real battle damage too, because he apparently ran right into some kind of piece of set and had to go get stitches that day.
Yeah.
So it was real life battle damage right before he started filming that.
So now he's all like, you knew that he was ready for that second. He's like, okay, now I got to make sure like everything's groomed and well kept and everything. He's like, okay.
I joked with my husband. I'm like, look, he's got a mustache. Like
He had one. He had one in the season.
yeah, but you couldn't tell. But then my husband, like days later, finally came up to me laughing. He's like, "Why does he have a mustache?" Like,
The one thing I was confused about is like it's like how did Bo-Katan and Kashka and the rest of them learn the secrets of no helmet hair, but he takes off his helmet and it's just
oh yeah, yeah. Well,
Because he never takes it off.
for women, I can tell you, Casca's got the right of it because you just keep that shit braided up as best you can. That's what I did when my hair
It
was
was
long.
weird seeing it like that. It reminded me of what was it? The Man in the Iron Mask with like Leonardo
yeah.
DiCaprio's hair like crossing over his face and stuff.
It keeps your hair like in one spot, though. You know what I'm saying? And then for Bo, I don't know, because that's how my hair's cut now. And let me tell you, it looks like shit every time I pull my helmet off now. Movie magic, though. Movie magic. So, yeah. Man.
Magic.
my hair looks horrible when I take off my
Oh,
helmet.
yeah.
I was gonna say the worst of my troubles now is like wearing a mask and just like my beard just being everywhere.
Yeah, see, I don't have that problem at least. So, I'm good to go there. But, yeah, like, when-
Put latex on your face. It rips it off.
Just get some paste, yeah.
secretly a
I
beard.
remember.
No. Maybe in 40 years, I am Eastern European, so it could happen. But yeah, like
Clearly not Eastern enough.
not well. It'll happen. So when I'm an old lady, but the title of the episode was "The Believer," and then I think what you see with Mando and Mayfield in the cockpit, and Mayfield's talking all his usual shit. Like, there's no difference between blah 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 blah. Like, he's trying to figure out like what Mando really believes. And he's seeing him like, okay, look, clearly you're not as strict as you thought, because here you are as a mud trooper, right? Like, he's like pretty much giving him a ton of shit. But so is the question: who was the believer? Was the believer supposed to be Mayfield? Was the believer supposed to be Din?
I think the believer's Din. I think it's him trying to figure out, like he said, what does he believe in? Does he believe in this creed that's been drilled in him, or is he starting to believe the other things that the other Mandalorians that he's encountering are telling him?
It's definitely a shakeup of his beliefs now. Again, like with donning the new armor and stuff, and then having to take off his helmet. I mean, you could tell. Great job on him for like selling that complete discomfort and just being.
Oh man, it was fucking crazy. It was so good.
Mm-hmm. He's normally so confident in that armor, and the minute he
you could just see it. Yeah,
it's like the officer's talking to him. It's like, "What's your
what?
Transport."
He's just so uncomfortable about everything, like so visibly uncomfortable. I'm like, man. And then we saw that post. I think you posted it, John, about like how they noticed how he was looking at stuff without the helmet. And it's like this dude wore his helmet all the time and is not used to so he turns his head fully instead of just using like peripheral vision.
Yeah.
And it's the Vader effect, like he's seeing through like those freaking lenses for so long that he's just like, I just want to see stuff with my own eyes.
But yeah, but even when he does though, he still is like doing full head motions, like he looks all the way down instead of just glancing down. Like he looks totally like a dude that is used to wearing a helmet all the time.
Person perspective.
It's
probably given a whole new world when he was walking around without that helmet. He's like, wait, I can see things over here.
I know. What's going on?
It's like
It was cool. But I think that, it also could be, and yeah, Uncle Monkey says the believer could be both of them, which is true. It could mean both of them. But I think it's also, in his hierarchy of beliefs, is his foundling and his care like the most important thing? More than the wearing the helmet all the time? Are they all supposed to be equal? Is one more important than the other? I mean...
Yeah. Yeah, and he's right about that too, like with Mayfield trying to like figure out what he truly believes in, because he's been like being part of Operation Cinder and all the other stuff that he had to deal with. It's like, okay, what do I believe in? Do I believe all this bad stuff, or do I believe maybe I can make a difference? Where he turns around and he shoots that officer, and it's just like, okay,
it sort of gives him direction again. Because I mean, Bill Burr did a great job of like showing how much he talks and how jaded he is, and it's obviously very much like a coping mechanism, especially for like PTSD.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah.
As long as he's talking and like keeping his mind busy, he's not thinking back to 10,000 people dead and all the people in that city that died. And
yeah, no, the second that scene started and it was going and going, my therapist brain kicked on. I'm like, yo, that guy has some PTSD, like for real.
Yeah.
See the
you know what the scene
you
felt
could
like
kind
to
of
me?
see, you
It
could
felt
kind of
like
see the switch.
Yeah. Oh
like,
yeah.
Like you could see him make up his decision on whether to kill this dude or not, and
and Din knew about it too. Din's literally over there like.
Well, yeah,
he was sitting there and just like staring at them both like this. It's like this is intense.
Yeah.
This is awkward.
Man, but who fucking knew Bill Burr could
think
act?
of that one scene in Glorious Bastards.
Yes, it was. It did remind me of that one a little bit.
And that was something Screen Crush made the comparison of, was saying that it was like, and it was strange having like the southern accent of the Imperial officer too.
Oh, that dude is awesome.
Let's talk about the fact that he was the Night King, and he was also
Night King.
He was the first one.
Yeah.
There was also he was, I forget what the other role he was.
Joe Chill from Batman Begins.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
And he's been in some other stuff too, but like those are the things I really recognized him from. But yeah, no, he was menacing as fuck. Like. Yeah,
he was very good in that role. And like I said, I literally spent that whole scene like of him watching Bill like freak out and stuff. And I'm just like, I'm half thinking like, oh, this is going to get dicey, and half of me's going, holy shit, Bill Burr is like doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah, no. I had no fucking clue he could act, because in the episode from last season, he was basically playing himself. That was like the whole joke. He's just being
and that's the joke that Bill Burr's made that joke in his stand-up. He's like, every single Bill Burr's made the joke that like every single performance that he's done, he's played himself. He's like Daniel Day-Lewis plays Lincoln. Gary Oldman plays whatever character he's playing. He's like, I just play me.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just playing me. I have a Boston accent. I'm an asshole. Like that's just. But a big thing with they tell you when you're in like acting classes and stuff is that you're showing a truth. So if he actually believed that he was showing that truth of what the character was believing, and that's what sold it. Like I said, it was just
his
phenomenal.
eyes started to tear up. I'm like, whoa.
He was visibly like shaken up and just like panicked. Especially when he realized what he just did.
I could feel why he was playing that scene out. I could feel like his internalization of the anger he was feeling as that officer was pretty much gloating about, we killed all these people and glory to the Empire.
And none of them matter.
We're still here.
Yeah.
Oh, and all your comrades that you are obviously expressing remorse for. Yeah.
Too bad.
And it shows that he was a good guy, like before everything else, because clearly he had compassion for all these people, and he's clearly just like shoved it all down.
Nice.
Trying
to Inferno Squadron in Battlefront.
Yeah, well, I mean, Operation Cinder, right? Like they did a callback to that in that episode. I was like, yeah, this is getting everything tied together. I mean, that was the coolest part of the post, original trilogy things that they've done to me so far. Like, I thought the whole storyline for Battlefront 2 was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
There was I just remembered it was so funny thinking about it with that whole like having to repress those feelings of compassion and stuff. It reminded me because, like I said, I started watching Bill Burr after I saw the him perform on Mandalorian, and it reminded me so much of his skit called "What Are You, a Fag?" where it's like talking about all these feelings of like being human, like admitting a puppy's cute or saying a baby's cute or like getting a cookie with your meal. Like guys will just like make fun of you because you're not being masculine enough. And I'm like, holy shit, that's literally what he's doing there. Where like it's in a more extreme way.
Yeah.
Like he's
overcompensating. That's
and it's just like, okay, I'm gonna be cynical and stuff because this is like what gains respect and stuff. But no, in reality, and it showed like also he switched quickly back to like his soldier roots of like, okay, just get it done. Like.
Oh yeah, I mean they fucking
snapped back into it.
They murdered their way out of there real fast.
Well, also just like how he addressed it.
Really glad that they, towards the end of it, besides plot armor, they also showed the standard thing that troopers still can't shoot because when they turn their backs and they're slowly going out of the door and try not to fall over the edge, blasters were just missing.
Yeah,
he definitely carried himself like a soldier and as a professional too, especially like how he was talking to Din. Like it wasn't. I don't think it was him like trying to like keep Mando from killing him. I think it was genuinely like in that moment he was like, we need to get through this. Like I need you here with me.
Well, for sure, because I mean, the second he intervened with the fucking officer and like got Din like out of like who the fuck are you trouble. Like that's how I knew he was all in. He could have just left Din there, hung him out to dry right there if he wanted.
Oh yeah.
When he looked over and saw Din struggling, and you saw it on his face, I was like, "Oh, come on!"
That was like the moment of commitment where he's like, "I have to." And I think again, part of that too might have been that bit of compassion as well.
Well, I think the fact that he saw him take off his fucking helmet, like that's how he knew, like this was like so fucking serious, right? So, yeah, they fucking busted ass out there.
Said, and he also said at the end, "Good luck getting your kid back." And you could tell that he meant it. It stopped. He was still kind of joking around, but by the end, like he was definitely.
He also didn't have his shitty enablers around with it.
I mean, he didn't in this episode either, and you saw a big change from
right.
Yeah, that's what she's.
They were a bad influence on him last time, and this time not so much, I guess, because they weren't there. So, and he survived, so we might see him again.
And
I don't believe the idea of
shoot that well with the cycler rifle at a distance on a moving ship as well.
Yeah,
they said
he was a sharpshooter. Like that was his role. I wasn't a stormtrooper, wise ass. That I don't have my good Boston accent on there, but yeah. So
I wasn't a stormtrooper, wise ass.
There you go. Yeah, I mean he didn't have to do that either. That was definitely for his own like he had to sleep at night feelings.
Yeah.
So good on him, though. I can't believe I like him as a character now. I mean, I always appreciated the character, but I didn't have sympathy for him or anything like that before. So I was like, oh, he's gonna die in this episode. Whatever. Now I'm like, I hope he comes back someday.
Supporting
actor. When they announced that it was going to be his character, that they were going to have to go and get him, I was like, I don't want to see this guy again. And then now after this episode,
he's going to get his own spin-off.
Why did they let him go? Take him with you.
He might get his own show, or he might join another show, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So then they get back on Slave One, some fancy ass flying, and we get our all moment where we're all like, boom.
That's all of our faces, Nick. That's all of our faces right there.
I knew it was coming. The second they were flying up, I'm thinking back to like the Star Wars X-Wing game. Like, I could have sworn there was like a turret or something. And the second that I saw him hit that button, I was like, oh, it's coming. I'm like, this is straight fan service, and I don't care. Like,
Joe did predict that one, so even was making fun of him earlier. Got to give them this one. He was like, we're gonna see some seismic charges again. I'm like,
yep.
Why not? Why the fuck not?
I can't wait to see it in action next episode. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
And I hope it survives.
Just have Slave One flying above a battlefield, just dropping sides.
How terrible would that be if they lost the Razor Crest and Slave One all in a few episodes?
Oh,
no, they can't do that to us. They're not gonna do that to us. Yeah, they're not gonna do that to us.
That is blasphemy.
It is blasphemy. I think Slave One's gonna outlive everybody. Because where the fuck was it?
You got a quaking lizard monkey?
What was that?
The Joker just broke into our house.
I do have an overgrown monkey lizard over there. Sorry. Yeah.
Eric's visiting her?
No. But I do have a bunch of monkey lizards. They're just not in here right now. But yeah. No. The Slave One's gonna outlive everybody. We're gonna see that shit in Rogue Squadron. I guarantee it. That'll be another thing. But what the fuck are they gonna do now? Alright, so at first I was like, okay, they're gonna get like a stealth strike team. They're gonna find his ship. They're gonna like sneak onto that shit. But then he had to go and film his whole like, I have a certain set of skills and I'm gonna come kill you video, right?
No, it's a verbatim repeat of what gets him.
Right.
Oh yeah.
But,
great memory.
I mean, it was awesome. Don't get me wrong, but is he gonna bring an army with him? Is the New Republic gonna come help him? Like you don't do that unless you know you're gonna just come fucking balls deep with people. Maybe.
Well, here's the thing: Gideon still has a ship full of Dark Troopers.
Right. And we're definitely gonna see them in action. Like, you don't bring that shit out just for kidnapping. Like, they're gonna fight.
He's got that. He's got TIE fighters. He's got a full, small army on board.
He has a fleet. They said.
And they're probably elite.
And we determined these are phase 2.
Yeah, I think they're phase 2.
Yeah, they're phase 2. They're not there because phase 1 was the exoskeleton. They look like Terminator. Phase 2 is the full armored version, and phase 3 is an exosuit.
Yeah.
What's interesting is
that you think that Gideon's going to jump into a phase 3?
Yeah, I think he'll get really hurt.
Maybe. He might, with the Darksaber. That would be really fun, but who knows?
It's like a sort of like the whiplash from Iron Man 2.
That's essentially like putting on an Iron Man suit.
Right. And why not? It's Jon Favreau.
With it.
I mean, Jon Favreau, we're gonna get it.
But yeah, I think that's how if they're getting away from him, but he's gonna stay as the bad guy, they're gonna think he's dead again or something. But he'll come back stronger than before, because otherwise, I
saw some people doing a
you
fan
strike
theory
me down, I'll become more powerful than you can possibly.
Some people kind of said that what they think they might do, which I'm 50-50 on board with this, is they'll attempt a risky mission, but Gideon essentially is still going to win.
Yeah.
And on a cliffhanger, which is going to set.
Or he gets bailed out.
Where
I made a prediction last week. John, I made a prediction last week. I think they're gonna get what they need from Baby Yoda, and so the bad guys win and get away. But Din is probably gonna get a traumatized young Grogu back.
Yeah, if they get the material they need, they figure out the process. But also, so guys, I showed you in our chat earlier, but one of the Mando Monday merch things that came out today, you have those cute little Baby Yoda like statues from scenes from parts of the season. They did them last season. They did this one. And they all correspond with scenes that have happened. Like, none of them are just cutesy things. They're all, I mean, they are all cute as fuck, but they all correspond with shit that actually happened. And the ones they released today, one of them shows him in Din's helmet, and the other one shows him holding a data pad. So it's got to be from this episode coming up.
Maybe Grogu escapes himself. It's sort of like the thing with from Rebels, where like Ezra was escaping at the same time that the rescue crew was coming to get him.
Yeah. I could see Din taking off his helmet and putting Grogu in it to shield him from something, too.
Ooh, that's an idea.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good idea.
Because now we've seen he's willing to take the fucking thing off for his kid, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, that it fits
He's got
right in
Beskar
it.
protection.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I think after seeing that today, I was like, what is this? Like, that's what
And if
it's
he's having like a climatic showdown with Gideon or something like that, and he takes it off so he can like view him, like see him.
Mano a mano.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
And you know,
Or Elijah gets smashed.
maybe. I don't know.
And that's why it takes it off. You never know.
Well, I agree with what Ted's saying, too. I think they might get what they needed from him, so they won't necessarily come after Grogu at that point. But then, I think the dots are all going to connect that Gideon is the guy that Bo's after, and everybody, like, so they're going to have a reason to continue to fight him after this.
Yeah.
So
he'll probably live.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll learn what he's doing.
I don't think that Gideon's going to go away. I think he's going to be the main bad of the series.
Yeah, I'm more and more
Maybe they'll learn what Gideon is trying to do,
Yeah.
and they'll realize we have to stop him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
It may not get found out until next season. You never know.
Well,
Unless the New Republic gets involved.
Well, then it brings everybody together because everybody's got a reason to want to stop it. Bo wants the Darksaber and she wants to, you know, get all their shit back. The Children of the Watch probably want all the Beskar this dude's got sitting in a vault on his ship. I mean,
Focus on Thrawn, and I bet you Gideon knows something about Thrawn.
Right. We had this. We didn't know if they were going to be rivals or working together or who knows. But now that Ahsoka is going to have a limited series, I think it's going to all come back together. If it was going to be her own show and it wasn't just a limited series, I would have thought we're not going to see Thrawn really anymore in The Mandalorian. But I think that hers is just like a short like storyline for her, and it's going to come back. Oh shit!
Not gonna be able to make it.
He heard us talking shit, so he came back.
Back from the dead, assholes!
Yeah.
I have a crack theory on the whole idea of him removing his helmet during the confrontation with Gideon. What if Gideon knocks it off his head, and that's another thing of like the Kree getting fucked up?
I mean, that'd be real hard. They would have to like literally yank it off his fucking head. It's not like something you can just like throw at and his helmet pops off, right? Like
It would make more impact story-wise if he purposefully takes it off. So
It would, yeah, but you never know because it's the whole thing is like his creed is sort of coming undone.
Woo! There's a lot of bald dudes with beards in this track.
a lot of
You gotta get the ratio.
talk about.
we're gonna have to rename it like the bald and bearded and Stacy crew,
Nick,
right? Like
Nick,
How about the
doing up there? Nick, you need to move down so we can like level this out.
Nick,
is there a way? Like hold on.
just move up so you can't see your hair, Nick.
Oh,
There we go, now.
Oh, I can't. There we go. I was gonna say, could I move the pictures around, but I can't. So,
no, fuck you! I got great hair.
I think I screwed up the screen though. Hold on.
Joe hates me for it. I told him. I said my grandfather went through.
It is a pain in the ass. Okay. So yeah, we're talking predictions. I think the merch is definitely spoiling things. So his helmet comes off for sure next episode at some point to protect the baby.
So here's the question: in that case, if Baby Yoda's playing on a data pad, do you think he's going to cause some chaos in the middle of combat?
Oh, it's just like
Is he going to be
Push the button! Push the button!
He's gonna.
he finally.
The red wire. The red
Yeah.
wire.
His character arc comes full circle. It comes full circle. He's like, oh.
That one meme was like, wait, hold on. You can understand him, or he can understand us. Ask him if he understands the difference between red and blue.
Yeah. Well, if he's just ever with me.
Yeah.
It's not that he could understand. He's a child too. You got to remember that. Like, oh yeah, but.
Man.
All right, Stacey. What was on your rundown that I need to defend? I need to defend a theory I was told.
The director.
The directors, yeah. Who the directors of the finale?
I have no proof of that. It's just what I want to happen. Yeah, I've never had any. If I have stuff, I'll tell you if it's legit or not. But that one's just
Joe has opinions? Really?
Yeah. I think it's going to be Favreau. I think it'll be Favreau. And Filoni, maybe they'll co-direct
I said that,
it.
you said no.
I was about to say Filoni would be a good bet for that too, just for the hype when the beginning starts and people see their names. It's like, oh shit.
I think honestly, because of like the stakes and how cinematic it is and everything else, I do think it's Favreau. Like especially with what he's done with, I think it'll be Favreau.
Yeah, it could be either one of them.
With how much action's going on and everything else, like this is going to be a big episode. I'm not discounting Filoni.
Has John directed one this season?
First episode.
I can't remember.
First episode.
Oh, the first one?
Yeah.
Because he wrote,
I genuinely think
the whole
so.
season, but...
It's not. I'm not discounting Filoni's ability to direct live action because he's done a phenomenal job.
The Ahsoka episode, man, so good.
Oh yeah, no, I know, but I think that Favreau is definitely like it's the big guns with that one, and I think he's probably the best qualified to do that episode. They were talking. Speaking of going back to 2 episodes ago with Robert Rodriguez, I think there was an interview where he said they brought him 19 pages of script, and normally when you're screenwriting,
it's a
one
minute
page
of
is a
script.
minute.
Yeah,
It sucks having to write it. But he's like, what am I? It's like, this is only 19 minutes. And John was like, yeah, you need to fill the next 11 minutes with action. That's why you're here.
He told him, that's why we got you. Fill the rest.
Exactly. He's like, fill in 11 minutes of combat.
It was good, though. It was fucking good.
All right. Gaffy's quick action.
So, here's the other thing. Now that we talked about the merch possible spoilers, there is the whole pinpointing the location of Gideon's ship. And it's like right between where Nalhada, Nar Shaddaa, and Camino is.
Ooh. The cloners?
Oh.
Yeah.
Camino would be... No, yeah, for cloning.
Yeah, that would be... I mean, they've been kind of hinting at that. I mean,
yes.
I know that the cloner symbol that they wear is really kind of more of an Imperial Science Division symbol now than it is a cloner symbol.
But I think it came from them. That's the whole thing. I think it originated.
Boba.
Right.
Like, who knows Camino better than Boba?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
They might recognize my face.
Well, you know what we have to
Such
do?
a good line. Oh, man.
You know what we have to do is we need to look at where Camino was charted as being in episode 2, and look at where.
No, it's. I saw the galaxy.
No, that's what they did. That's what she said.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
It's like, so if you're looking at it like it's a real world map, like where the ship was right next to was Nar Shaddaa, basically in Hut space, and Camino's south of it, and it looks like it was like heading towards it.
Don't fucking say it, Joe. Don't say
if they're bringing Camino back in, let George direct it. Come on, come on.
That would be something else.
Camino would be so fucking beautiful filmed on the volume too. Like that's a planet made for
No,
that shit.
George is gonna want to go back to green screen.
We've had some short episodes. Maybe they saved that CGI budget for this final.
What if they're going back to that old fan theory where Jar Jar was the true Sith and they're trying to clone him? That's why they need baby.
That'll make Joe happy.
And that's why they need Grogu's like Jedi DNA, so they're like midi-chlorian DNA, so they can infuse Jar Jar clones with DNA.
So Jar Jar is just really Snoke?
He is really the guy behind everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It could happen. Well,
They made my point.
Mando's gonna run into the cloning facility. He's like, "You said come at the right time."
You said gonna die.
But then they should have kept Mayfield on and be like, "Oh shit, there is a Gungan," right? Like,
you know how to speak his language. You don't have to speak in his
Joe,
language.
what's with the staring off into the distance?
He's imagining it. He's imagining it, and just like
He's thinking of
Some
the best
point,
way.
like 8 years ago, I decided that this is my thing, and people won't let it not be my thing.
well, because you made it your
You
thing.
planted your flag,
Oh,
man.
If you're gonna make such a controversial thing your
I'm
thing,
gonna F with my friends a little bit and act like I like Jar Jar Binks, and then like.
listen,
Really
if we're not gonna let Steve off the hook for Weequay shit, we're not letting you off the hook for Jar Jar.
Oh, I've accepted this. This is what it is. This is what it costs.
John,
This is
John,
your
do
life
you
now.
Model you
That is
like
your
a
life
new
now.
shoulder belt. I'm gonna take that shoulder belt that I made for you for Cody. I'm gonna make like a Gungan head.
Do it as your signet. Do it as
Oh
a signet.
shit!
The Gungan
Yes.
segment.
It has to
It's
happen.
just like a profile with the flappy ears.
John,
I already
since
thought of
probably
this. I already
since it's
thought
not
of
going to
this.
happen anytime soon, John, do we want to talk about what we were discussing about MegaCon with as far as Steve?
I've discussed so many things with MegaCon. I don't remember what to
The
That's not even
Weequay
a
thing.
thing.
The
MegaCon
Weequay
doesn't
thing.
exist anymore.
I know it's not
Yeah,
real
make it
until it
sound
actually
good.
happens.
No. I'm saying the Weequay thing with Steve that we were talking about.
We'll keep that one under the wraps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
really?
might watch this one day. You don't want to. He might just
Lord.
show up. Like,
He'll be the seventh viewer. Where are we at?
well, we
Yeah.
lost a bunch when I crashed us. Sorry, my bad. That's what we get for me using fancy software. I'm gonna have to figure out why it all fucked up. But
Tell our viewers to ask the questions again.
But yeah, all right. So could be holding Camino. Stream Elements. It is the Stream Elements is the MVP, but for some reason I don't know. The cameras all shorted earlier. That's why I had to restart the stream. So apologies, but yeah. All right. So if they're going to Camino, Boba's gonna be like, "What the fuck? Why am I coming back here?" Basically, like this is like, man, and I don't want to be here. Like, so who are they
High
gonna
school
find?
reunions are awful.
Yeah.
What if the Kaminoans kept some like Django clones to like help around, and like Boba walks in,
Yeah.
they turn
They did.
That was the
It's
thing
like,
from Legends. That was the thing from Legends where during the whole thing with the Force Unleashed 2 that like Boba went in there and he was like, "What are you doing with these clones of Django?" And the cloner was like, "They're not clones of Django, they're clones of you." And like they were like trying to accelerate the growth process from, I think it was like from like 10 years to like a week or like 10 weeks or something. Like,
That
something
seems
crazy.
really bad.
Oh yeah, it was. No, it was nothing but abomination.
Right.
So who knows? We may see something like that. You never know. It could be
Yeah.
because remember, Kylo Ren mentioned a clone army in Episode 7.
Well, yeah, but they weren't the only people that made clone armies either.
I blocked out the
At the moment,
No. Yeah. Well, who knows? We don't know what state they're in. Because
my thing is,
in the old EU, like, Palpatine, like, fucked them up big time because he didn't want them to compete. You know what I'm saying? Like, so...
we don't know what happened in that canon. There could have been a clone uprising. They could have been totally purged. They may have wanted to destroy the template so that no one else could make clones, or especially with the inhibitor chips and stuff. You never know.
We might see what happens in Bad Batch.
Maybe. I also I'd be kind of. I was surprised at the idea of Camino only because of how covert they're trying to be. I figured they would have gone somewhere in the unknown regions, or just tried to be an unknown planet, or just in the middle of space.
Camino's been deleted from the database,
Yeah.
bro. What you talking about?
Yeah, it's not in the archives. It must not really exist.
I think
Nobody
it
knows
became a
it's
little bit more of a known thing, especially when they got involved. Especially now that they had Kaminoans in
Why?
the Senate.
Everybody's dead.
Mm-hmm.
All the people that knew about that shit, the Jedi, all the old clones, with the exception of
Yeah,
the
but
few that are
if they
still
were
around,
if they
nobody
were
knows
involved
about it.
if they were involved in the Imperial
Except
Senate
if
prior,
they were
there wouldn't have
back.
been. It wasn't. We don't know. For all we know, they may not even show up.
I think
I
there's
mean,
a pretty good
right
chance
now.
they could have covered it up again, because if you think
I
about
don't
who
think
was
they would
there,
have felt
it was
as much the need to.
just clone troopers versus the separatists during the war,
Mm-hmm.
And also,
Yeah.
he dissolved the Senate, right in the beginning of A New Hope, so that should have been gone for a
still,
while.
that's right when it ended.
but it was around for 19 years. It was around for
Yeah.
almost 20 years.
Yeah, but
So-
but the senators all went back home. They had no place anymore. They weren't Imperials. They had no connections to anything. So
But I don't think the information on Kamino would have been purged. There wouldn't have been a reason to do that like there was with the Jedi.
I mean, I think what happened is the Imperial Science team took it over, and that's what's there.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's exactly what would have happened.
It's also worth noting as well, I just remember this, that they completely purged Geonosis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially after the Death Star.
We found that out in Rebels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I totally forgot about that until just now.
Yeah, but
they
the one
like some of the old legacy stuff, like the technology and everything like that. The Emperor, he still kept it. He just got rid of all the people who knew about it.
Yeah, he pretty much genocided the whole species except for the one worker and the one egg.
A really good way to tie this together is Bad Batch. After they're pretty much decommissioned. It sounds like they pretty much will become mercenaries. You know, Bad Batch goes and sabotages everything on Kamino to make sure that they can't make another clone army because they don't want people to suffer like they have, and that's why the information is lost and missing, and that's why the Imperial Science team may be back there now in Mando trying to figure it out again.
Yeah,
it's really interesting. We're at the point now where my head is just spinning with the theories.
Well,
trying to keep track of everything.
You know, I wasn't super psyched about Bad Batch, but after seeing the trailer last week, I'm like, this is a Clone Wars epilogue. This is finishing up this.
I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, so I'm all about it now. We're gonna see what happened to all the clones, I think.
Great too.
And we noted that the jump in tech, the jump in the animation quality.
Oh, yeah, this is good.
It's worth noting that a lot of it, I think certain aspects of it were held back for the style point, so it wasn't too jarring of a switch between the technology. Now it's let's use the full 2020 animation that we have, and just go balls to the wall with it.
Yeah, it's gonna look good. It's gonna look good. We might see what happens to all the clones. We're gonna see what happens to. I mean, this honestly, Bad Batch might be where we see what happens to Mandalore if the rumors are to be believed, because
I think it's also our opportunity. It's also our opportunity to see what happened to the clone army, because by the time Rebels happened, they were already decommissioned.
Yeah,
it's definitely going to be showing us the aftermath. It could be only a couple of years after. I think we'll definitely see it in the Bad Batch when they start to bring in conscripts and volunteers.
Yep. They're gonna tell that whole story now. So they're gonna fill in some blanks. So now I'm all about it. We'll see how it is. I mean, that's the next show we're gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
So
they're definitely closing off the gap. We haven't seen immediately after the Clone Wars yet.
What do you say?
Hey guys,
Craig?
just giving you a heads up. I'm taking off.
Bye, Ted.
Bye.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Now less bearded bald guys. I'm not outnumbered now, but I mean, I do feel like I need a beard.
The ratio is back to where it should be.
You should just order a beard off Amazon.
I know, I need to get one for next time. But yeah, so I think Bad Batch is supposed to be in the next few months after Mando's done. Yeah, they said early 2021.
Spring.
So
you think June, July, or earlier than
No, I think March,
May.
April.
Maybe May.
Is it? No, June is spring. So May. I mean, anytime between April and May, I think, is likely.
I think around May 4th or something like that.
Oh,
be animated?
I'd say either early May or around May 25th.
That's the only Star Wars we're getting next year as far as TV, movies, shows. So
until the end of the year.
Until the end of the year.
Well, yeah, until Christmas.
We have to wait a whole fucking year. That's why I don't think they're gonna kill us with too big of a cliffhanger. There's definitely gonna be some cliffhanger, but it's not gonna be super
Wait,
Grogu's
when
coming
does
home.
Cassian come out?
When does what?
When does
Cassian,
Andor
I
come out?
think it's 2022.
They
I wanna
just
say.
Have they moved it now?
right? Didn't they just start filming that?
It comes out next year, I'm pretty sure.
It was 2021, but I wonder if they.
I'm looking it
I
up.
thought they moved it.
Setbacks.
Maybe not though. Maybe it's.
I should know this.
Hang on, I'm looking it up.
Yeah, we should know this.
2022.
Yeah.
Mm,
And Kenobi, right?
yeah. They haven't even started
Kenobi, I
filming.
think, is also
Well, you know what? They
22.
haven't said when Ahsoka and the Rangers and the New Republic are coming out at all, though.
Yeah. So they had to postpone. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're okay. The way I took it, just based on what we saw from the presentation last week, it seems like Mando and then those two shows that are going to tie together, Ahsoka and
Absolutely.
Rangers of the
Yeah.
That's what they've been saying.
are going to film similarly to Mando, where they use the Void for most of their stuff.
Yep.
That does not seem to be the case for Andor and Kenobi.
No,
it seems
they're
like
filming on
especially
Pinewood.
Andor, they're doing like real production sets like they do for a movie, and that's why
Yeah, they're doing a
affected it so much
miniseries.
more. Whereas, I mean, COVID affected Mando too, obviously, because they've already pushed back next season a little bit. But when you primarily using the Void for those shows, and now that we know John and Dave were doing Ahsoka and the Rangers show, like they'll just pull it all in and do it probably the same type of style as Mando instead of.
Oh, absolutely.
If they were doing it like Andor, then those shows would be even farther, in the distance.
But I think with the production quality they're going to shoot for, though, again, it's going to be like a stretched out movie.
Well, yeah, because both Andor and Obi-Wan are one-season shows, and Obi-Wan's only 6 episodes.
Yeah, they're miniseries,
right?
Yeah.
So they're small productions, but they're filming it at Pinewood, and I think they're doing it because that's where Rogue One was filmed too. So they might still have some set stuff there for it.
Yeah.
So it might make it easier there.
Excited to see Obi and Darth Vader fight again.
Yeah, so they said that Darth Vader and Obi-Wan are going to fight.
Yeah, Hayden Christensen. I think it may just be it could be flashbacks that we see with Hayden and
fight. And I think what's going to happen is because in A New Hope, Vader's like, I feel a presence I haven't felt in a long time. So I think he's going to think he kills Obi-Wan in here, and Obi-Wan's going to.
Could be.
That could make sense because they didn't say when. I mean, because this was 10 years after Return of the Sith, which is how long before New Hope?
19 years before New Hope.
And they said that's when Kenobi
Yes,
was
they said it's 10 years after Return of the Sith.
Oh.
10 years.
That's a lot longer than I thought.
Revenge of the Sith, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's going to be a while, right? Like, so.
That surprises me because I thought they were going to specifically tie some stuff from Bad Batch directly to Kenobi.
So we'll also have.
After the war.
You would think so because of the Cody connection, right?
Yeah, because I think that's a thing.
Maybe.
Well, Tamora Morrison's has confirmed he's been cast in it, but not as Bobo. So
yeah,
he'll probably be more likely.
I think it's more likely we'll see.
Voice probably. Sorry, Nick.
I think it's more likely we'll see Cody in Bad Batch.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? We definitely
he's still
see
a big commander.
Yeah.
Cody is for sure in Bad Batch.
It might be just some other clone. I mean, who knows? It could be either one. It could be both, but maybe that means he just survives Bad Batch.
I think he's going to be around after the decommission of the clones. He may be one of the last few that's still, because of how big his role is with. We have to remember that, like, he established a lot of the old codes that are still used by the Empire.
Well, how many commanders were left? Rex defected.
He was huge, at the time. Like, he was one of the top commanders in the clone army.
Well, that's what I'm saying. How many were there? And we know a bunch of them left. Or killed.
Or just weren't really that significant,
Right.
I mean, we saw Bly, but, he's gone. Bakara, he's not sticking around. Neo,
So Bad Batch will, Uncle Monkey says, will Bad Batch tie into why some of the Jedi survive Order 66? They might not have the chip, or they might be immune because there's a good chance they might not have had the chip because they're weirdo clones. But I don't know.
At this point, is there a Disney produced show or movie that doesn't have a tie-in to a Jedi surviving Order 66 at this point? Is every single show?
It's also worth noting that because of their secretive roles and because they were mostly lone wolves, they probably just never had that order executed. So the chip is probably still dormant if they have it because they never needed it activated because they were never around Jedi to begin with.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. So Ahsoka's going to be a limited series too. So I'm going to circle back because I was talking a little bit about it earlier. The fact that Ahsoka, Rangers of the New Republic, and Mando are all going to tie together. Before I thought if Ahsoka was going to be the Rebels sequel and if it's going to be a separate thing that we weren't going to see any more Thrawn in this show. Now I think it's all going to tie ultimately back to Thrawn in some way. Especially because if she's a limited series, it's going to be like a season, right? And then she's going to do other stuff in these other shows.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I was really surprised that there was an announcement for a Rebels sequel, an animated Rebels sequel at the presentation last week, and I still think that might be a thing that they do down the road. But I think their focus is definitely shifted to her doing it in live action instead of animation, which
Yep.
I'm surprised by. But man, live action Thrawn, if we really get to that, will be really cool.
I know. Oh my god.
He's one of those things I never got to experience in Legends, but like I did read. I need to read the other 2 books in the canon. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
Thrawn's one of the best antagonists that we have.
If I wasn't so attached to my beard, and if I could put in context, I would have done Thrawn.
You could.
I mean,
you're a tall, skinny dude.
But if you just let one of us hold you down,
I can't put in
Bye,
context.
Greg. Thanks for coming.
I wouldn't do Thrawn unless I could put the context in.
All right.
It just wouldn't feel right.
Who is a Ranger of the New Republic? Cobb Vanth? Mayfield? What about Hera? What about Hera?
That was Kara's show. I don't know if it's going to be Kara's show now, but it was Kara's show, I think.
It was Kara's show.
Yeah, that's true.
What about Hera?
I don't.
Rogue Squadron.
Well, she's a commander in the game. Squadron game.
Yeah, that is true.
They could very well make her.
And they can bring in
I love her show.
Iden Verso too. She didn't die. Well, she would have still been alive, right? I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, she was alive. Yeah.
Yep. And
Yeah,
the actress who did her would totally come back. She's cosplayed as her before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So she could be one.
She seems wonderful.
So what else is a Ranger of the New Republic? I don't know. It seems like a weird thing.
When I first saw the logo for it, I thought it was. My immediately thought it was like, oh, pilot show, like pilots, like in space, in space.
What about?
But then when they announced Rogue Squadron, I was like, I don't know if they're going to do a pilot movie and a pilot TV show. So maybe Rangers is more like fluid term.
I think the Rangers are going to be more like just like a special forces thing, or it could be like a drop. It could be a dropper thing. It could be droppers.
If Cara Dune was still going to be in it.
No, I think
she's dying next episode. She's dying in the finale.
No, she's not.
She's gonna die.
I don't think they're gonna kill her off.
She's going to be the link between. She's going to be the link that connects the New Republic to Mando. In order to, it's probably the link that gets the New Republic Rangers involved with Mando.
Yeah, but she could do that as she dies.
That's going to be the link with the tie-in. Could be, but it's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
They had Rav shooting before she was a public turf.
Yeah.
They had already Rav shooting before she went crazy online.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, nothing's gonna happen in this season that gets rid of her.
Here, I thought that maybe she just went off the handle because she did die in the series and had no continuing contract. So she was
I think that was
do to me now?
I think that's just her doing whatever she wants.
Apologize.
No.
I don't think she would, though. That's the thing. I think she's too.
No.
Disney supposedly trying to make her apologize. I don't think she's gonna.
She will not. She will leave before that.
She has too much pride to apologize.
Yeah, I mean, it's I'm not going to stereotype, but the whole. But I'm going to do it anyway. Hell me. It's that UFC sort of mentality. A lot of those guys are very headstrong.
Maybe. I mean, to be a fighter. I mean, look, because when you have to build up a tough persona to sell your shit, is the same thing with wrestlers. So, I mean, it's part of the act to make you successful. But yeah, We'll see. Cobb Vanth, though, I'm all about that.
Yeah,
but it would be a cool way to tie in Hera to a show. Like if
Timothy
all of these,
Olyphant.
Timothy Olyphant.
I'm about that.
Yeah, because if this is all going to technically be the Rebels sequel, like, why not bring in all the different fucking characters from everywhere and tie it up together?
We'll see.
But they also said that one wasn't a limited series either. So that one might have more life.
Yeah, and they might just introduce some new characters to us in general.
Yeah. And it'll be cool and all tied together. And then the Rogue Squadron movie, which looks like it'll be cool, is going to be set after Rise of Skywalker.
I'm still not sure about that. Not sure about that.
It's gonna be led by like old, grizzled, bitter, and jaded Wedge Antilles, the only surviving member of Rogue Squadron.
He reprised his role in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Top Gun with him training a bunch of fucking guys.
Could be.
They could bring in the guy that did the Resistance show as a live action character too.
Who?
Yeah.
I mean,
It depends on. I don't think we're going to see. What the hell's his name? It could be where we see. I think it's too early for us to see Resistance. It's too early.
why?
Yeah, it wouldn't happen.
If they survived and this is the aftermath and they're trying to build a new squad,
because they're pretty young, and we're talking about like if it's set around Mando, it's 6 years after Return of the Jedi.
No.
No, we're talking about Rogue Squadron.
Rogue Squadron. The movie.
Oh, Rogue Squadron.
Yeah.
I'm
Squadron,
like,
the movie.
They haven't said when it's supposed to be, right?
After Rise of Skywalker, they said it's going to be.
It's after.
Yeah.
They haven't confirmed that.
Think,
but the dialogue leads you to believe that it's after Rise of
Yeah.
Skywalker.
I mean, they weren't very specific, but they were specific enough.
It's.
We'll hear more
I don't
about
know.
it.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I don't think. If it's not hard confirmed that it's going to be after Rise of Skywalker, I don't.
Read the blurb. It says it's going to bring Star Wars into a new era for the future. What does that mean to you? What does that fucking mean?
They're trying to get past all the bumpy roads and have people forget about that stuff so that they can.
We're not gonna. Especially because like they were supposed to be like Episode 9 was supposed to like wrap up that saga.
It did.
Give it an end.
Now we're moving on. Let's get past it.
Let it be said at 9:22 p.m. on December 14th, 2020. Nick said they're not going to.
I've been wrong
So
a million times on this podcast.
That's true. That's
We
part
all
of the
have.
fun.
That's because half the podcast we spend here just throwing our theories at the wall.
Yeah.
But if ever one of these crazy ass theories stick, if ever they stick and we're the only ones that ever came out with it, we're going to have it on video and we're going to be like the Nostradamus for like 5 minutes of Star Wars fame.
Smarter people than us have come up with better ideas.
I said 3 weeks ago Boba was the only returning character this season, and so far I've been right, so we'll see.
Yep.
Only returning character? What do you mean only returning character?
Of the cameos, Boba, Bo, Cobb Vanth.
So who comes back for the finale?
Someone else. What?
Who comes back for the finale? Yeah.
I think we're going to see Bo. Because again, what I said was she already took Figazanti. She's probably going to find it around the same time.
So you think they're just going to like come at it at the same time?
We might see Bo, but at the same time we might not, because if she's traveling with her night owls, I mean, even Casca's already said that she herself is not coming back.
But she could be lying.
She could be lying, but
I don't think so.
If they kill Moff Gideon in the finale, you'll see Bo. If Moff Gideon survives to become the villain, the continuing villain, you're not going to see Bo.
Yeah.
Or the ship. I don't know. It could. I mean. Din could wind up with the Darksaber and leave him for dead. The ship could be exploding, and they just assume
he's gonna have a fight with a spear and the Darksaber.
That ship could be destroyed. They assume he's dead, and then he happens to get out at the last minute because plot armor.
Yeah.
Or Baby Yoda, he tried to touch the Darksaber, so Baby Yoda gets.
Baby Yoda steals that shit.
And he just goes on like old Yoda, like episode 3, he gets Palpatine flipping everywhere and just annihilating people. It's like, and Din's just like, I didn't know.
No, it's gonna be a straight Lion King thing where like Din has the Darksaber and he just presents the prince just full like pride rock.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See, that's Uncle Monkey says. Yeah, pro wrestlers are all about the swerve and Kafavi, 100%. She could be lying. Like that's what they do. They could all be showing up.
She lines because
I know
her character is one of my favorite ones. So
I love her fucking armor. I want to see them again. So I know we'll see him again eventually, but I want to see him on Friday. I didn't think I was going to do Team No Sleep again, but I think I'm going to have to.
You
That's the
have
last one. I'm still quarantined at home, so I might as well do it. So what's going to happen, though? Like, how the fuck is he going to do this? How is he going to pull this off?
I feel like every time I do major plot, my idea of what's going to happen for the major plot, it doesn't go that way at all. Like I thought,
Yeah, it's called You're Not a Writer.
I thought Tython was going to be the finale. Like, I thought they were going to have the struggle with Gideon, and then he would take him to Tython, like last thing in the season, and then Grogu would talk to whoever, and then that would be the end. And then the very next episode, they're like, "Oh, we're on Tython. Boba Fett's back." But we haven't seen Moff Gideon yet. Like I was like, "Wow, I was completely fucking wrong."
Yeah.
It's like here's the thing too, because Grogu reached out into the Force.
Yeah.
So he very well, like, here's the question: is whoever he contacted going to show up at the end of this finale? Which I think is very good a possibility.
Probably.
When everything's just going to shit, and it seems like nothing is going to happen, and then somebody comes around and just kind of essentially save the day.
If it's the army of
Mace
all the
Windu.
Yodas, like all of the whatever they are, like I don't know.
It's gonna be just a bunch of pods.
Like,
Portals open up and the Yodas come flowing out.
That mystery's gonna be solved before this show wraps up. We're gonna find out what they are and where they come from.
It's gonna be a primitive planet, or it could just be a settlement.
It's gonna be Yaddle. She's gonna be coming back from
Yeah,
Yoda
she's like,
and
"Oh, thank you for babysitting my son." Like,
Yeah.
I was wondering where it was.
Yeah, by the way.
And Grogu's gonna be like, where the hell were you? I'm with this guy now. He's got plot armor. You just disappeared. You're a background character. He's plot armor. I'm sticking with him.
I just don't.
I didn't know that detail about them from the coordinates that he saw, how close they were to Camino. Now you've got it in my brain that they're going to Camino.
Yeah,
now,
no, I mean they're super close.
Stacey, when they don't go to Camino, I'm like, damn it, Stacey got my hopes up again for this.
I mean, I've been right about like half of my weird things that I thought about, sort of, like sometimes.
I don't know.
I need to keep track.
For season 3, we're going to keep a Stacey tracker of your theories. And then
that's what we need to do.
Like, the
over-under.
What is it? We do this every week. This is a podcast. We need to figure this out. But if it's
it's just that Always Sunny meme, just like with the board of like all the tax and stuff like that.
Stacey got her theory right or wrong.
I mean, that is my meme. That is me. I am always doing that. I really need to get one. I thought I had one. I went looking for it. It's gone. But I used to have one from when we played a lot of tabletop at the house. I will get a new one. I'll roll it in here. We'll start writing shit on it. It'll be amazing. But yeah. I don't know what he's going to fucking do. Like, the fact that he telegraphed to Gideon that he's coming, like, blew all my thoughts out of the water. Like, I'm like, what is he going to do?
That was great.
It's like, and Gideon's probably like, okay. He's like, you and what army? And I'm like, yeah, what fucking army? How is he gonna fucking do this now?
Yeah, Gideon's just kind of like, oh. Again, it's that John Wick thing where it's like, you blew up my ship and took my kid.
Yeah. Oh.
And Gideon's just like, oh.
I mean, as far as we know, he doesn't know where any of the members that might have survived the armor from his conclave are, right?
Right. I don't think so.
And I don't think he knows either. I don't think they're still in contact or anything. The only reason that Din was able to relink with the armorer is because he went back.
And she was still there.
Yeah.
Why did we leave the guy who shoots really good behind again? Did we need to maroon him in that planet?
That's what I said. It's just like maroon on a planet, just like...
By the time they come back to get him, he's gonna be the king of that village. Like, it's gonna be fine. Like, you know, he's gonna have all these people... Because I'm sure they're all going to be like, oh, this is the guy that blew up the Empire. He's our hero.
They're going to show up and they're all just going to have Boston accents. They're just going to be like, they're looking for...
That is a nightmare.
They're all just going to have Boston accents. They show up. They're just like, we're looking for Mayfeld. Who's asking?
You know
what do you want to know?
That's my worst Star Wars nightmare right there.
You know who's going to save the day? It's like in the middle of the battle, it's going to be chaotic, and a ship's going to land, and Hondo's going to step out.
Yes! Yes!
Oh. I think I'm on the wrong planet.
No, he's a mid-episode. I mean, he's a
the truth is that's who Baby Yoda reached out to with the Force, and it was Hondo all along. No, but you know what, though? Like... There was this really funny thing. We're just talking about the village of the Burrs, but like when they had the whole rumor that Obi-Wan Kenobi was filming in Boston. Yeah. Well, when they had the rumor that it was filming in Boston, somebody put together an audition video of a bunch of people like auditioning to be extras or something in Kenobi, but being very
Was it-
Bostonian about it. I'll
was
send
it
you guys the
Conan?
link. It was
Was
fucking
it Conan
hilarious.
or was it Saturday Night Live?
I don't know. No, it was neither, as far as I know. Somebody sent it to me, and I forgot to send it to you guys. I know, I'm terrible. But I
fucking love
was
it.
dying. I was like, oh my fucking god. But then it was not Boston, Massachusetts. As Boston, England. Poor Joe. He didn't know until I told him.
As I discovered last week while we were doing this live.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I still love. There was a great story of when I watched an interview with, I think it was Barstool with Bill Burr, and he was talking about like how he never cared. I watched it because it was Bill Burr, and he was talking about his experience on the show. Otherwise, I don't give a fuck. But he was like, he loved it because like not only did he get to do some cool stuff, but also like he got to basically live his buddy's dream thing, who was like a way bigger Star Wars fan. And so he was
used
like,
to talk shit
so
about Star Wars all the time.
Bill got to meet George Lucas on set, and so he messaged. He was like, he messaged his buddy. He was like, "Hey, I'm living your dream. I just met George Lucas. Fuck you." That was like the text he sent, or the call.
100% pure Bostonian right there. That is a thing.
Well, again, it was just like that don't care attitude. It's great. I love it.
We forgot to talk about one fucking thing, by the way, of all the announcements that came last week. Taika's amazing fucking whatever the fuck he's doing with that logo.
Holiday special.
Yeah,
Huh?
the holiday special. Like to me, it reminded me of like old school '80s heavy metal cartoon. If you remember.
Was it Guardians of the Galaxy? No. That's James Gunn. What are you talking about?
The Taika Star Wars
It's
project.
just the logo that came out with it.
Yeah, all they
I
did
don't
was
remember
release the
seeing that.
logo, and Kathleen Kennedy had like this little spiel about how he's unique and whatever. Like,
I vaguely remember that. I'm looking it up.
yeah, no, it looks like the holiday special. It looks like old school '80s. It looks like the fucking graphics I made for this, basically, in some ways. It's all blue and pink and purple and glorious.
It just says, yeah, it's set to release it in 5 years.
I know, but what the fuck is he doing? Oh, and the only thing that was behind him was the weird space shape thing that looks like the thing from the old comics. It also could be Mortis.
That one. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be
I was gonna
like,
say, how very specific of you.
well, I mean, like, it could be like the thing from the first Jedi. Oh, we lost Joe. But it could be the thing from fucking Mortis, which would be a weird-ass fucking thing for Taika to do, but he can do it because he can pretty much... If it's weird, that's his stick. It's cool.
Yeah, he's the
About
king of taking. He's the king of taking weird mystical stuff and making it likable.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's...
Yeah.
He could do whatever. I'm down with it. It's fine.
I'm gonna watch it. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm watching it.
I think
Yeah.
it's definitely set in the far past. That's what the vibe I got. So
Like SOTOR Pass.
I think like Tales of the Jedi.
High Republic.
No, not High Republic. That's too new. Yoda was still alive in the High Republic, so we ain't going there. I think it's like Exar Kun, maybe kind of shit.
gee.
Like
Yeah,
way.
cool, like how
You
drama.
actually see on screen.
Yeah.
That's before the Old Republic.
Yes, that's like pre-KOTOR, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they talk about that in the archives from like the old canon, where like, this was.
That's what that
thousands of
fucking
years ago.
shape looks like. Like it looks like that.
The best part about it is you can go that far back and things can be just so weird.
Yes. Yes. You
Yeah,
can see a fucking mythosaur, like, and it's gonna look like some kind of 80s stop motion beast. It's gonna be
the thing is,
amazing.
like,
Like a Godzilla movie. Just
my thing is with that, with going with such an unrecognizable thing, like they struggled to make, in my opinion, they struggled to make the sequels look connected to the the original stuff. How is that going to be for like?
They don't need to
Because
worry
it's
about
like-
it for this. That's what I'm saying. Like that, if they go that far back and they just give it to Taika, it's just like a thing. It's like
Yeah.
The reason they struggled with the
You still gotta
sequels
make it feel
is
connected,
because they
though.
didn't do anything that were within the time frame of the difference in the time frame from the original and the sequels, they didn't do anything that grounded it.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the
thing. They didn't have any aliens that we've seen before, and they're all new.
It was all just
new planets and stuff like that. This one, like, you can go back and there's stuff.
There'll be all the old KOTOR fan service shit too for like the people that are looking for it, and for everybody who doesn't know shit about all that, it's just gonna be a Taika movie about Star Wars, and it's gonna be funny.
Hey, if anyone's gonna do Revan shit, make it Taika.
You got the people that love Revan, you got the people that hate Revan.
So, I just don't see. To me, I don't know if Revan could be a funny story.
You never know, because he was very RPG guided. It could be a bunch of quirky circumstances, especially with like the hodgepodge of a crew we had. But again, we're also establishing a new canon, so it could be a mix of both.
But the thing with like Revan is like I said, it's RPG guided, but there's still the canon version of how Revan is, and he's not.
Oh, he sucks. He's so bad. I don't like him at all. The
canon
stuff.
you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh,
he's so bad in SWTOR. It's terrible.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It makes me very sad. He's just. but HK is awesome in SWTOR, so we got that going for us.
HK is the reason I play SWTOR. So.
Taika's definitely gonna have HK. Like that's already I predict it now. Because HK is totally a Taika fucking character. Like that. That's him right there.
I just can't have them give me a droid that I love again and kill it. Like
I know, but they gave him such a beautiful statue. They gave him such a great tribute. I mean, and now that we know that they can be reprogrammed like that, who's to say maybe more of them won't get redesignated as nurse droids? It'll be the new fad for everybody to have a babysitter that's a IG. Yeah.
Was it going to be like the new chapter of the R2 Builders Club? It's just the IG.
Oh, man. If they could ever build a real IG, that'd be crazy, though. They couldn't do that. But it'd be cool as shit if they did. All right. Well, but Joe's gone, but he'll see this later maybe, but there is absolutely zero mention of Rian Johnson or the fucking Game of Thrones guys during the announcements. Zero.
Yeah, because because if they had, that would have been like...
They still haven't said that he's not doing. Rian Johnson's not doing the trilogy, but I don't think he is. I think it's done. I think they're hoping we all forget about it. But we're giant nerds, and we will never forget anything. We will bring it up to them forever.
Here's the thing: if it was going to be in the immediate future, because that's their shareholders meeting, they have to disclose like what they're working on.
Yeah, no, they're not doing shit with it.
That's part of their like. That's part. I mean,
they said they didn't bring up everything. I've heard. But I don't think they would keep that shit.
The thing is, like, that's a law with like with commercial speech and with PRs that you have to disclose any information that could affect stock prices.
Right. Sure.
That could affect
they do have some shows that are still in development, though, that they're not bringing up apparently. But
I mean, they really didn't have anything regarding Taika.
But you have to disclose things once you know something's solid and planned.
Yeah.
They could still be planning things and not know exactly what's happening, so they're not releasing that information because last thing they want to do is get hype and then decide, hey, we're scrubbing this.
Yeah. Joe!
It's a weird position.
Joe, we're talking about how they didn't say anything about Rian Johnson or the fucking Game of Thrones dudes making Star
Wars. They said that Weiss and Benioff, they said that they cut that.
Did they announce that they were done? I don't remember them saying anything.
That contract was cut. I think they announced that was cut like shortly after Game of Thrones.
Those
guys,
they
did. The irony that Dave and Dan rushed through the final season of Game of Thrones to get to Star Wars and got kicked off of Star Wars because they rushed through it and everybody got mad about it is pretty freaking.
I don't even know got mad about it, but it just wasn't well done.
Have you seen the memes about them? There's a ton of memes about them, about how they just rushed through that, like he said, just so they can do Star Wars and then lost Star Wars.
I have a chat group on Facebook that's called the Salt Mines of Westeros, and all we do is post terrible Game of Thrones memes about how awful it was at the end. So
I can't even watch the good stuff from that.
No, it's dead to us. It's dead to us. It
just makes me... Yeah, it all makes
sense. I forgot to talk about The Acolyte. Oh, shit. The Acolyte, another show that's coming out.
Oh, yeah. There's so much stuff.
But that's set in the High Republic. So we have no fucking clue what the fuck that's
the High Republic.
So if the end of the High Republic was the last time they saw the Sith, or no, it was before that. I wonder if it's going to tie into Darth Bane, though.
I think that
the Rule of Two just started recently-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a good chance that's what they're doing.
What was going on with the High Republic? I forget if they mentioned that with the shareholders meeting.
The books are coming out next year. I think Amazon has the sample chapter of each book that's coming out available for free right now. I downloaded them. I haven't read them yet. But people who have read them and posted spoiler-free shit said it's pretty good.
Okay.
So. She's here for it. She's here for
Before we knew what that show was, it was rumored that it was really a high-level martial arts based. So that's curious to me. And now that we know it's called Acolyte, like obviously it's going to be some dark side people stuff. But
yeah,
the very first thing that someone who messaged me about it was talking about was like they can easily tie this into Darth Bane because of the time period it's in. Now that the new canon is new canon, like they could easily change that timeline around a little bit for Darth Bane, and do that and show like the rise of the Sith that leads to eventually Palpatine.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because they're with all these recent projects, it seems like they've figured out their formula now, and they realize, hey, the thing that makes fans happy is essentially give them what they want.
Yeah.
And the fans want to see these stories on screen.
They want the things that fill in the blanks for everything, especially since they just killed all the canon from before, which we're not really crying about, but now that leaves us with a bunch of like unanswered questions. So that's why we're all like, what the fuck does this mean now, right? Like, we want all the questions answered again, so we know, so us nerds can argue about what's canon and what's not again.
Well, the thing that I appreciate what they're doing is like they killed the canon, and like when they did it, they even explained, it's like, hey guys, we're doing this so that we can put the timeline back in order.
Yeah. No, I get it. I'm about it.
And they're starting to do a really good job with it of like bringing the stuff that we knew and loved back,
taking the best stuff,
and
leaving the bad stuff behind.
There was a lot of bad.
So
like the other day, somebody's like, "Oh man, I want to see Yuzon Vong." I was like, "They're not."
No, nobody wants to see Yuzon.
Nobody.
I love the Yuzon Vong. I love that series.
The Yuzon Vong is cool, but I do not think we'll ever see the Borg equivalent.
No, we won't.
Star Wars.
No, they're gonna have to come up with something.
That got me through the dark times, man.
The other day, I pulled out the books. I was like organizing my books. I was like, oh man, these are freaking ancient.
See, when you're in a famine, you're gonna eat some moldy bread and think it's the best tasting shit in the world, and that's what that was.
How dare you? How dare you?
Whatever. I'm still waiting for Callista Crowder to come back. So like I said, we all like some questionable things in this world, and that's mine. That's where I'll plant my flag. The terrible.
Larissa convinced Joe for years and years that she hated Cal.
Never gonna let that down.
She was talking good about him. He just stared at her with this look of like, "You hate him." She's like, "I've been lying to you this whole time." He looks so betrayed.
It was a long game.
She really played the long game there. She really did.
Dedication. She's dedicated as fuck.
See, some other people in the chat said, fact, the Yuzon Vong.
Oh yeah, no, they know. They know.
They said what?
The Yuzon Vong were bad.
In the chat, there's like, fact, the Yuzon Vong were bad.
So what will be the future though?
They were a good villain. Like granted, there's some really terrible garbage writing that happens with that series, but they were a good villain.
What will be the future now? Now that the Empire is dead times 5, or how many times have we killed the Empire off?
I think that's why Taika's movie doesn't come out for another couple years, because they're still trying to figure out where they're going.
Well, we were saying it's going to be like way early. I think it's going to be like pre-KOTOR. I think it's going to be like Tales of the Jedi and shit.
There's a good chance that that's true, because that weird weird
sheep!
prism thing in the sky
Yes.
looks just like the cover for Dawn of the Jedi. The
Yes.
book.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. Dawn of the Jedi. I keep saying Tales of the Jedi. I meant Dawn of the Jedi. Yes. It looks like
but-
that, or it
Hey,
looks like Mortis.
I gotta jump off. I gotta do work stuff.
Bye, Joe. Enjoy your work.
See you next week for finale talk.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be
All right, bye, guys.
Yeah, I don't know what they'll fucking do though. Once we get past all this shit, like, what's the main villain gonna be? They're gonna have to come up with something good that isn't the Yusong Bomb.
That's gonna be no. Do not want.
No.
Hardcore, dude.
No.
No.
I
Yeah,
hope.
so, when I saw people memeing that. I was like, please don't.
Yeah.
It's like-
No, it's these people like Joe who like thrived off those things when there was no Star Wars going on. So
Cringe
they don't realize that it's just bad. It's just very bad. Well,
Lord.
they've got a lot of Star Wars coming out though. And I guess if Rogue Squadron was 2023, I think. So they've got a few more years to figure out what the fuck they're gonna do.
You know, it was like my stepfather. He's a manager at Disney, and he had like a little bit of a behind-the-scenes preview, and he said there's a ton of stuff. It's crazy. So
I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I'm a little sad that we might only have Bad Batch, and then next year, more than a year from now, will be season 3. That's gonna be a long time to wait. I hope something else comes out.
10 episodes in the next season again, or is it gonna be more? That's the thing. Is like,
Well, if they're, I mean, the last 2 were 8, so if they're gonna keep going like this, it'd be 8. But if the other 2 shows are gonna be filming concurrently and they're all gonna be using the volume, they might all come out relatively close together. Because what I heard was they were gonna do a tie-in event with all 3 shows. So I don't know if that means it's gonna be like the Defenders on Netflix, where they had like a separate miniseries that was the show, or if it's going to tie in between all the shows so that they're going to air together, kind of like what Arrowverse did on the CW, where you watch the event across all the different shows instead of it being a separate thing. So I don't know what they're going to do. I wave my hands around a lot, but yeah, I don't know.
It's gonna be hard to figure out until we see some of these, like what they're doing in these new shows.
Yeah. And if they release them all, if it's all the shows are going to be around together, they can't just release all of them at 3 in the morning on a Friday, because that would be fucking awful. Like, they need to, like, schedule a release. Like,
Yeah, and then
all of us on the East Coast, man. Disney, if you are watching, we beg you. Please. Please.
change the time.
Release it at, like, 10 p.m. on a Friday, like, across the world. We promise it would be better for everybody. Because then we could all watch it together like we did with Game of Thrones or things like that. It would be a thing instead of Team No Sleep.
Having a chat with a poll. Have you watched it yet?
I know, have you And my poll questions have gotten, like, all caps ridiculous because I'm just like, please watch it so I can talk about it.
It's like I get, like, hit and miss because I clock into work, like, at 6 in the morning. So sometimes I wake up in time. I'm like, okay, how long is this episode? Can I watch it? And then sometimes it's just like, do I have to wait? And then sometimes it's just like, okay, I got some time between like work. I can sneak in. I've watched so many episodes this season, just like piecemeal.
Oh no!
Just get through. It's like, okay, it's 5 minutes there, 10 minutes there, like 3.
I've been waking up early to watch it this season, but last year what I would do is I'd get up to get ready for work and I'd download it on my tablet. And then I'd drive my ass to work real fast so I was there, and then I'd watch it in the parking lot on my tablet. There's Nick. But yeah, then I'd watch it before I ran in the building for work, because I knew if I did not see it before I got in there, one of the kids that I saw that day would be like, did you see it? Blah, blah, blah. And I can't strangle a child in my care for spoiling it for me, so...
Yes, you can.
I cannot. I will lose my license.
You have 2 hands and strength.
I will lose my license. Oh, we got the Visions animated series too. That's gonna be the 2D animation series in like anime style. I'm about that. That looks like it would be cool. I'm about it.
Not my thing, but I'm not discounting it. You know, you get passionate people involved with it who get the vision. Not meant to be a pun.
And then the droids is like a weird thing that they're doing with C-3PO and R2-D2. That's the one I paid the least amount of attention to. So I don't.
Yeah, I didn't pay any attention to it at all when they said the droids. I was like, what are they?
I was like, okay. If I want to see a show about droids, I want it to be like Chopper and IG-11 and K2SO, like those three on a mission. I'm about that. That'd be cool.
Savage. He has the highest kill count of anybody I know in Star Wars.
Was it R2? Was it R2 that disconnected that whole? What the fuck was it? There's a whole thing about like R2. I don't know if it was in the current canon or Legends, where he like killed an entire like transport ship full of stormtroopers.
I don't know if they would have put that in current canon. That's because if it would have been in Clone Wars or Rebels, and I don't think they would have put it in those shows.
No. It was in like a comic book.
Oh.
Nocturnal Alchemy is saying it sounds like R2.
Oh, they're gonna be younger droid that's mentored by R2 and 3PO? Oh. Huh.
So, part savage, part annoying.
Yeah. As long as they get visits from Uncle Chopper. Like, he's my favorite, though. Like, he's such a foul-mouthed, angry creature. Like, he's, like, perfect in every way. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, those are going to be interesting, and we don't know when those come out either. So, yes.
I mean, we also have to remember the fact that not all these ideas are probably going to, stick. I mean, and some of it's probably going to be...
You mean all the stuff that they announced? Yeah, all that stuff's happening. 100%.
What I mean by stick is I don't mean like they're not going to produce it. I mean like it may only be like a one-season thing.
Well, a lot of it is.
There's a couple things that have already been announced.
No, I mean stuff that was like that they may be hoping to like get another season, but just doesn't get the critical response they wanted.
Maybe.
It's only possible. We never know.
Talking about like Rangers of the New Republic,
yeah, because they left that one open. That one didn't specifically say limited series, so they could be doing more than one. They might not. I guess it depends. Like, if Thrawn's going to be the ultimate bad guy of all of the three of those series, like, what they're going to do. What are they going to do? Why would Thrawn... I mean... I don't know. What is Thrawn going to be doing? He doesn't give a shit about the Empire anymore, like, or does he? Like, why?
I really don't think he's going to be involved with the First Order.
No, I don't think so. Because he'd been running that shit if he was involved, he would have been in charge. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I don't think it would have been going after the New Republic. I don't think so. I think it would have been focusing on something else.
Maybe. I mean, maybe is the Chiss Ascendancy going to be the next enemy? Could that be? Would that
I don't
be
think so.
adversary?
No, not a lot of people know about them to begin with. They have
but this might be their introduction to them.
Yeah, like... If they're using these shows to introduce people to them, that'd be a good way to get people.
Yeah, to build up the hype.
I think the only reason that the Chiss would be involved with the known regions would be if it was like the classic case of like they're being aggressive because they're fleeing something.
Or they're like, there's a giant fucking power vacuum. There's nobody in charge. Let's just go bring some order to this chaos here.
Yeah, it's like Jay Chaney said it could just be something in unknown space too that we may not know about.
Something dark side. Something.
I mean, did all of those Sith acolytes die on Exegol? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
I remembered the chanting from that,
or they bid their time while Palp's First Order was fucking around.
Monks. What'd you say?
That's
I was reading one of the comments.
May could have, or they bit. Yeah, I don't know. We don't know. It's all. Who fucking knows what's gonna happen anymore? It's exciting and it's frustrating because I wish we had some clue, a little bit, but they don't want to tell us because then they don't want to hear people complain about it for years. Like they want to wait. They want to wait. Well, Favreau and Filoni are definitely building up a villain, and we know who that is. Thrawn.
Do we?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Because
Gideon and Thrawn, I think. Gideon's gonna be the Mandalore angle, and then he's gonna be what unites all the Mandalorians into the show, and then Thrawn's gonna be the existential threat, like that's gonna get everybody. Thrawn's a red herring. No.
Is Thrawn going to kill Gideon in the end, or do you think?
No.
Thrawn's going to leave Gideon to die by his own arrogance.
Yes, absolutely. And it's going to be a Mandalorian that kills him. 100%.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I just keep thinking of how he was with, because again, his style was never really to kill anyone, especially in the books. I mean, to kill lower ranking officers and stuff.
What Nocturnal's saying though is like I have a sneaking suspicion that that's kind of like what's going on because I'm wondering who Thrawn is working with.
Yeah,
we don't know.
Well, that's what I'm curious about too, because like, does he know about what Palpatine's doing? Is that on his radar at all? Is he doing his own thing? Does he keep his own fleet? Is he aware of what Gideon's doing? Are they working together? Are they foes? Are they rivals?
If Thrawn was able to discover the Death Star just through like some little bit of digging, I think he'd be able to figure out what's going on with the First Order.
Is he
I think
back,
he would definitely hear about it.
I mean, she's looking for him. Is he actually back from wherever he fucking went?
Probably. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe they landed on the planet of the Yodas with the space whales. Like, we don't fucking know where the fuck they went. I'm gonna keep going back to that until we land on that swamp planet where they eat all the people alive.
For all you know, it's a bustling metropolis.
I will eat crow if that's true. I'm convinced they live in a fucking
whole
swamp.
Planet just like Coruscant level, but with a bunch of them, and they're just chilling.
Or for all you know, they're like a spin-off of the Chiss.
They are swamp predators, and they eat bugs, and they live in mud huts, and you will not convince me otherwise. That is what they are. They're primitive people, and that's why we don't see them everywhere. But I don't know.
Yoda built that hover chair with his bare hands, and I'm going to watch it happen.
Oh my god. Yeah, they're going to be like an advanced species of yeah. Oh, well, we'll see. We'll see. All right. Well, I think that's all of the shows. So bright.
I didn't think you could look more white. I didn't think it was possible.
No, it's because I'm looking at my cliff notes. We covered it all, though. We covered it all. We got it. So, last minute predictions for next week.
We're going to see The Mandalorian.
You're gonna get that one right.
Space again.
Yes.
My brother and cousin love to do this thing where like we joke about like how people do like the whole tie together like the title of something like, oh, now it makes sense. So they'll literally like anytime Mandalorian's mentioned in like on like one of the episodes, they go, The Mandalorian. Okay, it makes sense now. Every single time, it never fails, and I'm just like, I hate you guys so
Mandalorian will
much.
be in this for sure. More than one of them.
I think we'll see a Mandalorian. That's the name of the show.
Grogu's gonna kill Gideon. Yeah. Nocturnal Alchemy thinks Grogu is gonna kill Gideon, or at least be an instrumental into his. Yeah, it is that. So, if you guys missed it earlier, they released a piece of merch from Mando Monday. That's the little cute Yoda statue, baby Yoda statues that always corresponds to a scene in the show. And this week's one has Grogu in Mando's helmet, and the other one is him holding a data pad, like he's like pressing all the buttons. Could be. He's like my 2-year-old going up to the keyboard and slamming all his hands on it and like stop. But yeah, that's what he's doing. I would love
to see a scene of like from Guardians of the Galaxy 2 where like Rocket had like all those weapons set up where like they're just like lifting people up and just dropping them. Like that's what's gonna happen.
Like push the button. It's gonna be like, don't push the button. Don't push the button. What, this button?
Just firing off escape pods, sealing off locks and stuff. Just purely fucking around with it.
So
who do we think is gonna be the one Jedi or Sith user, or I mean, not Sith, but Force user that Grogu contacted with that's gonna come? Because I'm pretty positive somebody's gonna show up at the end.
A lot of people are convinced it's gonna be Luke. A lot of people are saying it could be Ahsoka just comes back. It's like I heard the call.
Yeah, I thought about it. I know I said I couldn't train him, but I thought about it. I'm back.
I mean, Quinlan Voss, we know, survived.
That whole meditating was like, you up?
Hey, you still there? I need your help right now.
So, could we talk about the other night? Yeah, I've been thinking about you.
So there's that. It could be Ezra, but I'm pretty sure.
You're so pretty. I miss you.
Thrawn probably has him captive somewhere. That's probably where that goes. So I don't know. It could be somebody new. Could be Mara Jade. If they want to bring her back into canon. Mm-hmm. Especially if they're ever going to bring young Luke back in. They might bring Mara Jade in. It might be a thing.
I think the whole thing, and I stand by this opinion, that I think once Ezra and Thrawn left, and like they were on their own. I think that the whole thing going on with the Galactic Civil War just kind of like it didn't. What did I miss?
It's not going to be Mace Windu. We can keep talking about Mace Windu. It's not going to make Mace happen. We can't make Mace happen. I know people keep talking about it. I mean, we joke all the time. We saw no body, but if he's going to show up, it's going to be in the Kenobi show. We have this fight a lot internally too, but yeah, no, there's no way that Mace Windu survived and missed the entire rebellion. He just that's not his.
Nick hates that.
I know. It's like this is like Nick's biggest pet peeve right now is Mace Windu.
It's the one thing to get salty over. I mean, among a million things, but that's like the thing I hate the most.
Yeah.
Is like fucking like it was a good reason for him to die.
He's not dead. He didn't die there.
It has to be like they had to burn Vader's body because they're like, oh, he might come back.
No. This is the truth of Star Wars, Nick. This is
unless you see a corpse, they're dead.
No.
They're not dead.
Falling does not bring death in Star Wars.
Exactly.
You can fall really far and you will not die in Star Wars, and that is just the truth.
You can be chopped in half and fall really far, and you will not die.
That's just like it's like a law of nature in Star Wars.
We're 1 for 3 right now.
Hey, look, we don't know how long Boba was in the Sarlacc. He could have set off charges like as soon as everybody left the scene.
We're 2 for 4.
But yeah. So I don't know who's going to show up. It could be anybody. It could be a lot of people. It could be a whole group of things we didn't even know about.
It's going to be just a bunch of people showing up. I thought you were dead. I thought you were dead.
It's going to be just like the holiday special, just 3 Obi-Wans being like, hello there.
All the Force Ghosts show up? Oh, they can help.
It's going to be just like Joe said, where a bunch of portals open up and just a bunch of people just start coming out.
It's going to be the chalk zone. It's going to be they're all poured out of the chalk zone, and that's how they're going to get there.
Oh, jeez.
Yep, we found the other thing that's going to piss Nick off. And if only Steve was here too, because Steve, if we bring up the chalk zone, he would just like, yeah.
He'd explode.
I don't know, but yeah, this could just fucking go anywhere. The only thing that I am convinced of is gonna happen is the episode will end with Grogu back with Din.
Oh yeah.
In my heart of hearts, I believe that. I don't think that they're gonna leave us on that cliffhanger.
And it comes to be that the believer from chapter 15 is within us.
It's inside all of us.
Sorry, I couldn't do it.
Well, I guess we'll see. I'm going to make a list of all of my predictions as I go through the week, if I think of anything else. But that's really all I got. I'm kind of like, I don't know. Other than Camino. And Camino.
I hate your chat. I'm pulling your chat dumb again. I knew I wouldn't do it, but I said I wouldn't do it. But.
Well, you see, JH81, that's my husband. So his whole purpose of being here is to troll us, basically. So... Nocturnal Alchemy is my good friend Steve, who's from Boston. Steve, you missed our whole fucking Space Boston talk earlier. I'm sad. You would appreciate it. You can watch the
I'm fighting your chat. You told me not to, but I'm fighting your chat.
But yeah. No, I don't. I think those are the only 2 things I got. I don't know if anything else.
I personally don't think Gideon's going to die this season.
Yeah, I don't think that.
No. The more and more we come up with these crackpot theories, the less I think that he's gonna die.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get away, especially with the way one of his most recent interviews where he was talking about how his kids tell him, "Please don't hurt the baby Yoda. Please don't hurt him," and he's like, "I will crush that little green thing."
He's a real life troll.
He said that with the confidence of my character's surviving.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna do more bad stuff.
Yeah.
So.
They need him to wrap up the whole uniting Mandalore thread, I think.
Exactly.
I want to see him outside of his typecast one of these days. I want to see him in a comedy role. I want to. I've seen too many stone-faced Giancarlo Espositos. I need to see some fun stuff.
He's just such a good fucking villain.
I know he is, but I really want to see that other side of him. I want to see the fucking dichotomy of Giancarlo Esposito.
It'd be interesting, that's for sure.
He's gonna go out like Gus Fring. Just watch. Fucking thermal detonator. Just.
I just want somebody to die and then to use the Wilhelm scream.
Didn't that happen? I thought that happened in one of the episodes. I think it happened in the one that Carl Weathers directed.
Yes.
We'll watch it again.
Pretty sure it did, yeah.
I
remember Screen Crush being like, "Oh look."
It's like one of my favorite sounds in Star Wars.
Yeah, I think he fell off the edge and they used it. Of course, we know that he might not have died.
Was he the one that fell into the? Was he the one that fell into that like lava reactor or whatever?
He did fall. Yeah, he fell into the lava, so maybe he did die.
Did we see him hit the lava?
Yes, we did because that was it Murdoch? No, it's not Murdoch. What the fuck's that thing called? The blue guy.
Mithril.
Yeah, I think that was him. Like his oh shit moment was like, because he was like trying to cross that thing. He sees someone die, looks down, and sees it happen. He's just like,
Yep.
Was that the episode he directed too?
Yeah, Carl Weathers directed that one. It was the only one he's been in this season, and he directed it. But it was fun. I was happy.
And he's not gonna be a director again because Gene Sky ruined it for him. He's like,
that wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
That's not.
Someone had to take the fall for it.
It was so easy for them to clear out too. Like it's gone. It's going to be in our collective meme memories forever, but it's gone. There's no evidence that it existed except for screenshots.
See, and people are like, what's the difference between that and the Game of Thrones thing? It's because the Game of Thrones thing was rushed, period.
Here's the other thing is like that you don't realize Gene's guy, they realize they messed up because he's the true villain at the end.
Yeah.
Admiral Jeff Blue Jeans. Admiral Jeff Blue Jeans.
Easter egg. Like, he was actually in season 1. He's in season 2, like he's slowly creeping on, and he's going to be the one to kill Gideon.
Yeah, from behind. Yeah, he stabs him behind.
It's my time.
Every now and then we just see more and more Blue Jeans guy, and then when we see all of him, we see it's Thrawn.
We see him pick up a frame in season 3. We see the silhouette of him in season 4, and then like at the finale of season 4, like it's just like he comes into full view. You see his face and just.
Is that going to be our new like photo opportunity for one of our con booths? We set up like a little wall where people can hide half behind and become Admiral.
They need to do a cardboard cutout of him, like they've been doing the cardboard cutout of all the characters.
Oh, like the guy from Dragon Con, like how he got moved around everywhere. Somebody could just take this cardboard cutout of this guy and just put him in different places.
But the cardboard cutout isn't a full cardboard cutout; it's just that section.
FedEx guy, right? Like from Dragon Con. And there's this like cardboard cutout of a FedEx guy who was like an ad that they left in Dragon Con. And this was the Dragon Con I was there for.
You know he was supposed to come this last Dragon Con.
Oh really?
The actual model, the model that like that they used. Like some people found him online and they got him to. He was gonna come to Dragon Con this last year.
Well, we'll have to show you this thing, Nick, so you can appreciate it. But this is the Dragon Con I went to, so I saw it in the flesh. But basically, like everybody who passed by him added things to him or moved him around or did all sorts of things.
Eyes on him and everything.
One of these days, I'll make it up to no time soon.
Dragon Con's a thing. It is a thing. But yeah, that's what they would have to do. I know, because it's the best.
First of all, can I just take a second and make it sound like this camera makes my eye look like I have a lazy eye.
I don't see it. All right. Last minute, anything we got before we go?
Mayfield's going to show up last minute with a ship full of people.
Yeah, that's true. He could pull that shit out. You know, those pirates that were trying to blow up all this shit, like, they weren't trying to steal it. They were just trying to blow it up, right? Like, so it seems like they really hate on some empire, right? So Mayfield is now going to rally all these people. He's their savior. He blew up the fucking base. So they're like, you're our hero, Mayfield.
Every single time you say
driving the transport anyway.
All those fuckers died.
Well, there's more of them somewhere, right? So he's going to rally the whole fucking planet. Some of them might be alive.
Some of them only hit the ground.
Yes,
every single time that you say Mayfield, I keep thinking you're talking about a boxer.
No, you mean Holyfield? Are you thinking
It's a
Vander
mix of,
Holyfield?
like- Well, it's like Mayweather and Holyfield.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So
Well,
stop.
Is Boba Fett dying? I don't think he's dying
Yeah.
this season. He might die during the Mandalore plot line, maybe. But I think he's gonna definitely survive this season.
Yeah.
I think Boba is going to survive specifically so he can encounter Bo.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a connection there. She may have known. I think she might have known Jasper.
Well, also she wants to be Mandalore, and who knows what he's going to think about that.
She might have even known Django. You never know.
Well, she was Death Watch, and Django was the enemy of Death Watch. Jasper was the enemy of Death Watch. So there's a good chance that if they do know of each other, it was because they were enemies. So it's going to be that meme of all the Spider-Men pointing at each other, but it's going to be the Children of the Watch and the Night Owls and Django, and then if the Mando Protectors show up, it's going to be like all these people like...
She's going to recognize... I say she's going to recognize Boba because he looks like Django.
Well, yeah, but also he's got the symbol of the Mando Protectors on his armor.
Ow. That too.
Yeah.
I love it.
So there's stuff there that they can tap into. We'll see.
What if we see a true Mando sigil? And that's going to be something that makes the app team go, fuck.
I thought we banned these.
There's been a lot of things that have made the app team go.
I remember because I was still part of the app team when we were discussing the whole thing of like before Post Imperial like was set as its own era for the costume building. We were initially talking about like we'll make it like an extension of modern or something. No. We were saying like it's going to be its own era because it's after this, and then it happened like during
the Clone Wars.
Like,
the flashback. Yeah.
Sure enough, the whole chat of like 60 people went,
"Fuck."
We were literally all like, "Well,
what are we going to do about that now?" Yeah, honestly, I had thought maybe that Boba was going to get his armor reforged into that style.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it still can happen.
I honestly think...
I think Boba's going to keep his armor.
The way it is. Yeah.
I want to see... Because he's already repainted it, and like we said, I'm positive he's going to get more dings and stuff like that. I want to see if he continues to try to evolve it kind of back to what his original kit was.
Oh, yeah. He spends more time doing some highlight painting, some details.
Yeah, new soft parts, or is he going to keep the Tusken crap? Which I say Tusken crap, but I'm talking shit for something I'm making myself because...
It looks cool. It looks so badass.
Yeah.
It's what he is now.
My friend, the warrior monk of Mandalorians. I mean, he's basically a Ronin in samurai terms.
Yep.
Like that's where he is. He's a fucking badass warrior dude without a liege and a
big code of honor.
Yeah, basically. So I'm about it, but I think he survives. I think he survives. I hope Cara Dune dies, just because I want to be rid of her already. It's just so sad because I really like the character, but I just don't.
Honestly, what her character, I don't even know if they will end up killing her. I think what they'll do is they'll use her less.
They'll just phase her out slowly.
Not have her as a pivotal character. Yeah. Maybe one day down the road.
They'll give her the Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, he's back.
They'll give her the Rise of Skywalker treatment, where they're like, "Oh, this character isn't liked anymore. Let's give her 79 seconds of screen time."
Oh, I know who we're talking about.
We're doing last-minute predictions for next week, man.
What's your prediction?
So why did someone predict that Rose Tico was going to be in the episode?
No. I was saying that they would give Cara Dune the Rose Tico treatment, where it's like, oh, people don't like her. Let's just put her in for like 79 seconds for the entire like.
I feel so bad because Rose could have been a cool character too, and the actress is so lovely. See, it's the opposite problem of fucking Cara Dune, where the actress is amazing and the character sucked. And Cara is a good character, the actress sucks.
Yeah.
So, it's different feel there. But
my prediction is that it's going to end on a cliffhanger, just like Empire Strikes Back, because it's the second season of Mad.
Yeah, but...
I mean, part of it's gonna, the first season kind of ended on a cliffhanger.
A little bit.
in that we didn't know what was going to happen next. Like we didn't know where it was going to.
But it wasn't like such a cliffhanger.
It wasn't. It wasn't like a direct. We know what's going to happen.
It was more like Darth Vader got flung away from the Death Star. And you knew he was still alive, kind of cliffhanger. Like A New Hope, right?
I feel like what's gonna happen is like as Gideon gets away, they're gonna like somebody's gonna mention like what he was doing. Like they're gonna be looking at the log or whatever, and they're gonna say,
"Yeah,
oh, this is what he's doing, and we have to stop him." And then
they could be face to face
show it on the screen, and we as fans are they're not gonna really say it, and we as fans are just gonna be, oh shit,
yep,
freaking out for the next year.
Thrawn could pick up his escape pod.
Yeah,
I think we're going to be waiting.
We're going to see the first Star
year. I think we're going to be waiting a whole year worried about Baby Yoda.
No, they're not going to do that to us. They will not do that to my son.
God, I know that toy is like cute and stuff, but god damn it.
He's so precious.
My original prediction
they need to make
Baby Yoda, so
they need to do They need to do another one where he makes that noise, like he knows what Grogu is, and he just goes, "Do."
He's gonna start
that
speaking.
noise. That noise makes me melt whenever I hear Grogu respond to Dan.
See, my original prediction at the very after the last episode was the Gideon was going to completely get away with Baby Yoda 2, and then the reason that Mando comes in contact with Bo and stuff like that again is because, hey, I need your help to get to Gideon because he still has my kid.
Yeah.
And he has what you want.
I just don't know if they've connected those dots yet. That's what I was wondering, if they were ever going to figure that out.
So.
It's going to be a sort of coincidence, not real. It's not going to be a coincidence. It's just going to be good timing.
Maybe it could just be he descends on his ship
what
at the
if he's
same time
going to
Bo's
escape?
doing it. I mean,
what if he's going to escape? Like Mando's like, we didn't get the kid back. What are we going to do? And then the Mandalorians come in to intercept before he leaves. With the Gazanti leading and a bunch of follow.
Because the point is that they have the Gazanti, so they have, it's shipping the logs, right, from where it's been, and that was part of Gideon's fleet.
Going.
Yeah, it was part of Gideon's fleet, as we know. So, but that's the other thing. Motherfucker's got a fleet. He's got a lot of ships, probably. So, I just don't know how they're gonna do shit. I mean, even a squad of Mandalorians isn't gonna.
We saw what happened in Rebels. We saw that squad of Rebels, Mandalorians with the interdictor.
It's like they. But didn't Bo and all of them say that they've been hitting their supply lines pretty hard, heavily and stuff like that, and getting ready for a big.
They're building up to something. And I think this could be their hit because now they know where he is.
Yeah, that's why I say maybe the Gazanti was the last thing they needed because they've got everything else they need and they just need to know where to go.
That would be
that could have been why they specifically went for the ship instead of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, and also why they were comfortable jettisoning a lot of stuff. Well, also it just worked out that way.
Okay, we can see if that happens.
Because
just watch 90% of what we say is just
going a bunch of stuff is happening, and all of a sudden, out of hyperspace or something, a bunch of Mandos pop up on some ships.
Exactly, that's my plan.
So anyway, and then Mayfield comes up, and he's like, "So anyway, I started."
Yeah, with his army of Mayfields.
You can already say that now. Why haven't we seen that meme yet?
John, you know what you gotta do now. You gotta make that happen once we're done here.
Actually, surprising.
As our meme supplier,
I mean, I gotta put 4 years.
John usually digs them up. I'm usually the one that makes them.
What are you talking about? I make memes too. I have 4 years of graphic design, bro.
That's right.
Half the memes that I pull out of the air and I'm about to send to us, they already come from John first. So I'm like, oh, okay.
Correct.
Oh, that's right.
The majority of the memes I make, though, I don't post. I just send them into chats. That's the problem. So they don't see the light of day unless my other friends post them.
They think Boba's gonna hide Slave One out in Gideon's wake and sneak in when they dump their trash.
What if they just have it where he's stuck to the back of...
I mean, he can do it.
It could be I think it'll be a repeat.
It happened before.
Yep. Okay. We've got a lot of callbacks that could potentially happen. This could be good.
Yeah, something like that's going to happen eventually. I
That's
think if
the
it
one
comes
thing to
time
know.
where they have
Or the episode could happen and none of the stuff we theorize.
Nothing will fucking happen.
I had said earlier, I'm like, the episode's going to come out. 90% of what we said is not going to happen.
We'll find out. We're gonna take a tally.
We're gonna be watching it. It's gonna be okay. Well, this could still okay. Well, maybe not that.
Yeah. Well, there's still a chance of no.
That was Nina's last episode. I was like, okay, Mayfield's gonna die. Okay, they're gonna gather the posse. Okay, none of that shit's happening right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the credits are gonna roll, and we're gonna be sitting there just like.
Yeah.
All right, roll it back.
And then we're gonna make the poll. Have you fucking watched this yet? Yes or no? And then I'm gonna throughout the day be like, how about now? How about now? Are we all team no sleep? I know Joe will be. Are you guys gonna be team no sleep? It's the
I'm gonna be in
finale.
North Carolina. I'm gonna be in North
Probably
Carolina. I'll be
too
team no sleep.
to sleep for that, but I also got a shuttle launch to go watch that day too.
Oh. It
Just
might
stay
just
up.
be me and you, Joe.
I'll
Just
probably
power through
be
it. What do you mean, me and you?
I'll probably be too hyped to sleep, so I'll probably watch it. Plus, my birthday, so I'm considering I might just call out of work.
You should call. It is your birthday and you deserve a day off to be part of Team No Sleep. We could do a special edition version of this right afterwards, too. Because nobody will be awake to watch it, so they can't cry about spoilers. But then they can watch the video on demand later if they want to hear about the spoilers.
Or just, have a regular Discord chat going.
Well, I do have the spoiler channel in there. But I just want to come in here and scream after the finale, basically. Because that...
Yeah.
Like we did the other night, or the other week, when we had to do the collective scream, but we had to hold that in for like 3 days, and I don't want to do that again.
Another one of your chat is wrong.
What?
This is why in the off season, like in the spring and summer between seasons, the biggest push that fans should be making is for this show to debut at 7 p.m. every Friday.
I already had this.
Every time zone, just like Game of Thrones did, so we can all watch it together.
I think it's going to be 10 o'clock. It's going to be 9 or 10 o'clock, though. It's not going to be 7, because 7 Eastern for us is 4 o'clock in California.
Yes, but like Game of Thrones did it. Game of Thrones did
at
10
9
p.m. for whatever time zone you were in.
It was 9, I think. It was 9 o'clock. So 9, 10, whatever.
No,
Joe, you missed this, but I pled. I put my face real close to my camera and I screamed, "This is Disney Plus, please listen to us. Don't do this." Yeah, because I was talking about if they did all the different shows that are supposed to come out and tie together.
This 3 a.m. thing has got to stop.
Right, and that's going to be, and if it's all around the same time, it's going to be multiple times a week? Or is it all going to be at 3 a.m. on Friday, and then we're going to have 3 shows we got to watch, like, back to back to back? Like, how are they going to fucking do it? I don't know.
I'm tired of thinking about this coming Friday.
You think the people online complaining about spoilers now is bad? Just wait till all these other...
Oh, I know. It's going to be terrible, because I'm not going to be able to wake up early enough to watch all of it.
Everyone just talking about, like, unplugging from, like,
and I can't
social media and finally being free.
Oh, my God.
This is how it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that needs to be our goal in the downtime. Let's start a campaign, a change.org petition.
Yes.
Let's just do everything.
This is one of those that actually needs a signature. Like, all the crappy things people make signature petitions for in this franchise, like, this is one that actually needs it.
I think we could get the support of everybody, even the Raylos.
Dude.
We could get everybody.
That would probably just blow up on like Twitter or anywhere else if you did it.
If this has not been a thing that's been created by after the finale, I will make it. I will make it happen.
If anyone's gonna launch this change.org petition to just go like full crazy, it's gonna be this popular live stream.
Yeah.
All 7 of you, all 6 of you have a job to do.
We'll make it happen. We can spread it around. I know people who know people.
Is the entirety of our listener base Stacy's like D&D group?
Pretty much. Keep in mind, one of those viewers is me.
Like, they're still tuning in every week to listen to a bunch of Mando cosplayers.
You know what, though? A lot of them watch the VODs, too, and tell me about it later. They like hearing our point of view. Because people, after every episode, people always message me, and they ask me to, like, deconstruct everything for them all the time. So I'm doing it, like, 20 times on Friday with different people.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
That's funny.
they want to know. They want to understand. So like they like watching us nerd out about it. So
That's cool. I like it.
And my husband's here to talk shit. So he's one of our
Why aren't we
viewers.
calling this? Why aren't we calling this the vodcast?
The vodcast? Is that what we're calling it?
Oh God, I'll never come on again if you call it that.
Well, we do need to come up with a better name, though. That's on the list of shit we need to do.
I can't believe nobody has made that podcast.
I know, right?
I thought about the escape pod
My
earlier,
trademark.
and then I realized that that's definitely a podcast, and I googled it. And
Oh,
sure
for
enough, it's a
sure.
fucking
Like,
I know I
podcast.
made a meme.
I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up.
Kanji Club votes for Kanji Club. So.
That's true. That was one of your good memes earlier. Kaji Club. What a fucking
Like,
name is that? When
There's
that?
a pod.
It's
I don't know,
already
that's
a
totally
thing.
going to the next
It's already a thing.
Wait, it's already a
Damn it.
thing. The vodcast
Yeah.
is real. Is it a
they're
Mando
talking
cast?
Yes.
No.
Talking about Mandalorians and babysitting.
They're our mortal enemy now. They are our mortal enemy.
They're just gonna wait for Twitter war against you. Do they have a Twitter?
always,
Do they got a Twitter? We're gonna wait
always
for Twitter
ruining
war.
Mandalorian.
There's a meme for that too.
Oh, we've seen it. We've seen
How
it plenty
dare
of
they
times.
steal our name that we weren't going to use?
Here's the description: 3 VODs just talking about your favorite.
Oh God, I hate
Wait,
them all.
wait, hold on. Did they say VODs or did they say VOD?
VODS.
I hate them already.
Yep.
It's VOD if it's plural. Thank you
This
very
is our
much.
new blood feud. Where's
Filthy,
the-
filthy casuals.
This is our new blood feud, guys.
I want to
Again,
start.
I
a beef
asked.
with
They got a
them.
Twitter.
I want to start a
Always
beef
a
with
Twitter
them.
war.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
let's find
you know,
it.
I'll- that's where I
Putting
thrive.
Joe on it right now. He's our number one Twitter shit poster. So
Take off the leash, Gojo.
that's how you're gonna bring us some hype. But first,
Do
let
we
us.
have
posting this on
visit
Facebook.
website? Here we go.
Wait.
Visit website.
But we
They
need to
got a
rebrand
website?
first, because otherwise
Sure.
you're gonna just be like, "Who the fuck are you? You guys don't even have a name." So
We need a name before we
Yeah.
can fight the
yes,
podcast.
we have to have a name before we can fight.
So, so are we like? Emperor
I'm looking it up on
Palpatine's
Twitter.
Order fleet, just like buying and
Are we the bad
all,
guys?
just like creating a fleet so we can fight these guys.
Are we the baddies?
Yeah,
Are we the
yeah,
bad
yeah. But do we think we're the bad guys? No.
He told
I
me
don't
to
see
put on
them on.
maybe
I don't
handcuffs.
see them on Twitter. I don't see them on Twitter. I think I only see them on
find
Anchor.
We'll find.
Hold
it.
on.
They're on Spotify. Like I don't know how the fuck that happened.
They're
I
on
mean, anybody could be on
Spotify.
Spotify, guys. Uh-oh. Okay. I didn't want to
Watch
short
out,
out my
you got a
camera again.
badass
I
over
can't mess
here.
with
Where?
it.
I don't see anything about like subscribers, viewers, nothing.
We'll figure.
Oh, they had. Wait a second. Jacepticon is one of them.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
It says join Jacepticon, Buddha, and Alejandro in their initial. Wait, is Alejandro wasted? Oh god.
So
Are
this
they
is so
still
much-
our enemy or no?
This is going to be so
They are
much
more
like a
enemies.
God. Oh no.
This is
Said
worse.
wasted?
I think it's wasted. It says Alejandro.
Oh, is it
That's-
Wasted Fett?
God.
Oh.
I think so. Yeah, because if it's Jacepticon, it's Wasted Fett.
You know, there's a lot of stuff going down on THD with all that. With that group.
Oh,
I've never been
I haven't
more-
been on
You mean
THD in a
TBH.
long time, but I can believe
You mean,
it.
you mean the Dead and
Yeah,
Helmet?
TDH.
Yeah.
There's a lot of drama.
What's going on with that?
There's a lot of drama
We,
about
we
Wasted.
can't
the
talk
worst.
about it here.
They're the worst. That's
They are-
the answer. They're the worst.
The worst.
Well, how about we?
If you
how
want
about we
to
hang up?
see it, go
Let's stop the podcast.
on the website. You'll see it all. It's pretty out there.
They're literally
No.
mad. They're literally mad at Lucasfilm for not consulting them to get the armor correct. I'm not kidding you.
Fuck you.
They're the
You-
worst.
See, guys,
What have
in
I said
every
for
community,
years?
there
What
are
have I
these
said
people.
for years?
Every community.
Right. I have said for years that boba kits come with a chip on their shoulder.
That's true. I do
They
remember
come
you
out
saying
of the
that.
box with a chip on their shoulder.
All right. Well, and that's why it's kind of funny watching them really get mad about his new armor. Like,
I don't want to watch their podcast.
they're kind of
anymore.
inside
I'm
themselves.
doing his new armor. I want to be bootleg Vader. It's gonna be amazing.
Oh, they have to have a Twitter. I can't wait for that.
Joe's got a
So
mission now. And on that note, guys, then we're done here for the night. We'll be back with more shit posting and other shit. You know,
Joe's been looking for a purpose for the next year. We've just given it to him.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't even know. I'm so bored. Like 6 hours a day.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have all this time. We have over a year before
It makes me so happy that I'm not an officer anymore. I could just.
I think I'm the only officer here.
I
heard nothing. I heard nothing.
I mean, I'm an officer.
You
but
are the officer. You're my
Steve's
boss.
We're good.
What are you talking
Steve's
about?
not going to fire me. Steve's
We
not going to
just have
fire
to
me.
preface everything with this is not Mercs related. And
This
we're
is
good,
true.
right?
In fact, I'll make a graphic for it. I've learned how to
Yeah.
make a bunch of graphics. Yeah.
Just get a neon flashing sign
Yes,
saying,
like this
not
one. This is
Mercs.
Mando Monday. I just made that today. Isn't it so pretty? I'll make
Yeah,
it.
make one that says not the Mercs.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. And we'll be back next week. Hope there's Joe. Bye, everybody.